Ellen in charge here. How's everybody doing tonight? Hope everybody's having a good evening. Sorry, it's a live stream, so there's Doberman. It's clockwork. So. Hey, Twisted Mopar, how are you doing this evening? How's everybody doing tonight? You're fine, Fiona. I'll give people a few minutes to jump on in and we'll start talking about tools and other crap. You're fine, Fee. Oh, hey, Pickin' with Pickle, does nothing special. Leonard Walters and Twisted Mopar again. How's everybody doing this evening? Hopefully everybody's having a good week. Hopefully everybody had a good 4th, including Pickle, who can't celebrate because he's in Canada. You're fine, Steve. Yeah, it wouldn't be a live stream without a Doberman, of course. So, yes, Steve. Here we'll talk tools and random as always. And I don't know, what would you guys like to see me do for my 1,000 subscribers? I've been stuck at bouncing back and forth between 799 and 794 all week. So hopefully I'm not back in that weird spot where you get stuck at a certain subscriber count. Either way, it'll give me time to figure out what I'm doing and what I need to do for it. Because I like to do something. I think it's a decent milestone. Twisted Mopar has been working on my golf cart, being real pain. Gas or electric? Okay, Fee, stop. Worked at a golf course many years ago that had both gas and electric, and it's interesting to say the least. I had a great 4th, nothing special. Worked on the cars and edited the video. My family isn't super huge on the 4th. A couple of friends do things, but one buddy that would likely be the place I'd go is I just never seem to get over that there for that 4th. I don't know why. Hey, Pure Pontiac Garage, how's everything going? Thanks for dropping by. Oh, it's a 48-volt Cub car. Golf carts can be a lot of fun. They can also be extremely dangerous if you abuse them, which is half the fun, but so Pure Penny's been working on golf carts for 30 years. Yeah, I only spent a couple months. It was interesting. I've worked on pretty much everything, realistically, other than fleet-type vehicles. At least not in a dealership-type environment. Hey, Mater, thanks for dropping by. Figure I will throw this in here now. I know nobody will probably jump in yet, but if anybody is interested, please feel free to jump in. You do not have to be somebody that I normally talk to. Anybody who'd like to jump in is more than welcome to do so. Figure we'll start doing talking about tools in a couple minutes. Let everybody roll in. If you'd like to, Pickle, that would be awesome. You are more than welcome to throw channel links up there to your heart's content, sir. You're also welcome to jump in. I assume Mater probably won't because he does a live stream tonight as well, but he is more than welcome to jump in and say hi. Twisted Mopar does something special. Pure Pontiac Garage. Leonard, you're more than welcome to jump in as well. Anybody would like to. Makes it fun when everybody gets talking, and it's always more fun to have a conversation with people, actually talking rather than chat. Oh, Pickle's throwing up links like a mofo. Pure Pontiac Garage. Yeah, I know I'm probably going to say this every time. You will likely get tired of me saying it, but a big reason of doing this is to expose other channels and people that you might not have seen. Go check out their channel. Give them a like. Let them know why you're there. They're trying to build a community up. I think we've got a fantastic community. I'd like it to keep growing. So definitely go and check out other channels if you have not seen them. And make sure you're still subscribed, because that does happen. Both my mother and my niece were both bounced off of my channel, even though they were actively watching it as subscribers. So the whole YouTube thing is just weird sometimes. Got nothing, 0 response. I think I missed something here. Oh, okay. So he replaced the controller, and now he's got nothing. Thank you, sir. Pickle is working, and he's gotten no response. That sucks. I know. Okay. Oh, thank you, Fee. Hi, Fee. Oh, okay. So what is the next step with Chandler? I'm actively putting the firewall in. You'll see, I finished everything for the driver's side. You'll see that tomorrow. I'm still finishing editing that video, and it ended up being a lot of custom form pieces, because the Cherokee firewall was here, the Rambler firewall was here, so I had to get everything to meet, and it was interesting. Right now, I'm doing the passenger side, trying to make it as flat as I can, because I need a provision for installing some sort of aftermarket heater core. They've got a lot of them out there. They range from about $100 to $400. It's going to depend on what my budget is. They're all about 10 by 10 by 5, but it's got to have some form of heat. I can't drive it without, unfortunately. And then it's on to inner fender structure, and then I've probably said this a million times, I can have my friends start coming over to help me that all have more than enough knowledge to do all the stuff that I'm going to be too busy doing, because I've got to fix everything in the back, because I'll be done with like half the fabrication, and then I have to go to the back, and everything, like the whole axle and all the crap's got to come out of it, and then I've got to figure out a way to put the Cherokee gas tank in it, put a floor in it. I don't actually want to think about it, because it's more work than I think I have time for, but I've got to try to get it done. Your new sticker went up on the wall of shame. I mean, well, oh, that thanks, Mater. Yeah, well, I can always peel your sticker off the tailgate of fame in the garage. So I just threw up a short today. Buck from Buck Does It sent me a sticker. We did sticker exchange, so that video went up today. Go check out Buck's channel. He's got a lot of good content. He does a live stream every Saturday to try and help promote all of the people trying to make the No Name Nationals 500 list. Yeah, haha, Major. Haha. Oh. Hey, Rusted Junk Garage. Thanks for dropping by. Hopefully you're having a good evening. Hopefully you had a good 4th of July. I think we can go ahead and start cruising through toolbox scrap. So I figured I would start talking tools. I was a mechanic for a long time. It started off in dealership. Went to mechanic college, went to community college for some mechanic stuff. I ended up working my way into prototyping, did a lot of that, bounced back and forth through a couple contracts, worked at McLaren, worked at Roush, worked contract directly to Ford at their proving grounds, did some Chevy stuff, did some labor time, which means I'm probably hated by a lot of mechanics, because I actually decided how people got paid, or what they got paid by hours. Built a lot of stuff, did machining and everything else, but I ended up building military vehicles and ended up as an engineer, but I was a mechanic, ASC certified, and state certified for quite a while. So I think we'll probably get into that. So I think we can go ahead and start. So, hey, this is my, let me try a different one here. Yeah, that works. So this is my current toolbox. It's actually a Husky brand from Home Depot. It's 54 by 25 by, I think it's 38 or 39. I got it on sale because it was dented in this corner over here. It's actually where I have my pry bar rack, which I'll show you guys in a bit. So I got it for $450. I couldn't pass it up because I needed something bigger. It's not big enough, but it was much larger than my old setup, because I've had Snap-on boxes, I've had Mako boxes, I've had Craftsman boxes, I've had stuff from Menards, I've had knockoff Husky Mac version boxes. This is just kind of what I ended up with. It's not a bad box at all for the money. So No, I'm not a legend. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize that's what you said, Pickle. I am not a legend. In the state I'm in Michigan. I'm a guy that's worked at a lot of different places and done a lot of different things. It's very common. I've gotten pretty lucky. I went from doing oil changes at a Ford dealership to being the junior guy in a 3-person shop environment at McLaren, which is awesome. I learned probably the most I learned anywhere I learned there, because it was trial by fire. There was just 3 of us. We were doing Ford racing, prototype and show car stuff, and it was, I learned by doing. I had to start learning as quickly as I could. It is more parts. With the new controller on it and the computer, it is most likely an M core or a short in the harness. Okay, he's talking about the sorry, he's talking about the electric golf cart. Nope, sorry, you guys are going too fast for me to keep up with, which is awesome, which means everybody's having a good time. And I just want to say hello, Wendy English. Thank you for dropping by. Yeah, so this is my current toolbox. I outgrew it the minute before I bought it, but like I said, it was about $450 for a scratch and dent and it's not a bad box, not at all for the money. I think they're almost $700 now, and I got this a year and a half ago. And I think they were about $600 when I bought it, and it was just the scratch and dent sale, so that was why I got the decent price. Let's see here. So I figured we could go through the drawers. I did put a Hearst emblem in it because I don't know, I had some extra and I thought that'd be funny. Oh, sorry, real quick. Hey, First Rounder Garage, thank you for dropping by. We're talking tools, shenanigans, and who knows what else might come up. No, it's not a bad box for the money at all. They're built pretty well. I prefer them over it's 54 by 25 deep. The stuff from Harbor Freight's not bad, but it just doesn't have enough depth. I know that sounds silly, that like 2 inches of depth makes a huge difference, but when you have a limited amount of space, you can make up a lot of room by depth. And they didn't seem any better or worse built than the Harbor Freight stuff, and the Harbor Freight stuff was more expensive. Leonard Walters is saying that's larger than my Hobo Freight box, but I think I would need to get a larger one with all the extra specialty tools I had to pick quick. Yeah, truly, I have toolboxes and stuff and things. I have stuff everywhere. I realistically need another box this size at a minimum. I've got some ideas of what I want to do, but the Chandler's got to get out of there, and I've got to get some extra cash, which I do not have at the moment. First round will be in the garage wrenching. Nice. Holy crap! I thought I had a lot of sockets. Pickle, if your Discord version if that's all the sockets you have, you ain't got shit. No offense. This was a long time of wrenching for a living. So I picked up a ton of stuff, and this isn't even all of them. I've still got stuff in other areas. I've got I've got doubles of a lot of stuff because I still have some of my first Craftsman stuff from when I was a kid. But it's a mixture of Snap-on, Matco, Mac here and there, a lot of Craftsman. Gear Wrench and a lot of the other companies weren't around when I started as a mechanic. It's pretty much your only choices were basically Craftsman, Matco, Mac, and Snap-on, and random stuff. But that was pretty much in Cornwell. But I never saw a Cornwell truck in my entire career of wrenching. And Pickle says he's pretty sure he's subscribed to everyone. That's awesome, my friend. That's a big part of why I'm trying to do this stuff. Yeah, this box is not bad, but I have more stuff than this. I'd like to organize a little different, but it's maxing out the drawer for sure. Hey, New Guys Guitar, thanks for dropping in. Oh, I don't know. That theoretically, New Guys Garage and Junkyard Necromancer are having a vacuum battle for manifold versus ported vacuum. I put the link up again. They might come in tonight. You never know. But it's like a knockdown, drag out. You know, who's gonna win the carburetor old fuddy duddy crap? It's important. I actually, to me, it's been a long time since I've even had a car with a distributor. What Dan is saying makes sense, but it's hard to tell. I think there's some nuances between what gives you better gas mileage, what optimizes that type of stuff, and power. But that's more nuanced, and hopefully they'll get into that at some point. No. Well, speak of New Guy's Garage, and he appears. So, Dan, you're more than welcome to jump on here. You never know if we'll have a Junkyard Necromancer appearance or not. Yes, we'll go down to my wrench drawer. So this is my wrench drawer. I actually need more wrench drawer because I have a lot more wrenches than this, but this is as much as I could comfortably cram into this drawer. I have basically a full set of metric and standard stuff because, well, I've always needed metric stuff since I've worked professionally, but Jeeps and older cars Jeeps are half and half. You never know what you're going to end up with a faster on a Jeep. So it's a little bit of a mixture. I like long pattern box end or double box technically, but it's box end on one end and a ratchet wrench on the other. I like it because you can break free with the standard end and then ratchet with the ratcheting end. I prefer those over standard ratcheting wrenches with the open end. To me, these work better. The long pattern gives you more leverage, and they're thin. You can get them in nice tight spaces you can't get other wrenches in, which helps. Oh, and New Guy's Garage and Tom from New Guy's Guitar is, if you like his music on his channel and you'd like to use it in your video, you can do so without any copyright issues. Go ahead and send him a message at Dan's channel, which is up on the screen. Send him an email, tell him what you want, and they will get you hooked up. Just make sure you mention it in the description. And I always put it in my video towards the end with his logo. I like people to know what it is, and then it's out there. It's a nice service that he's doing, and it helps you and him. So everyone going to drive through right. Oh, Dan's in his Mustang. I don't hate carbs. I just have had, out of the 29 cars I've had, probably 3 of them have had carburetor. Oh no, 4 or 5. Then there's technically had a carburetor, but doesn't. Just fuel injection is what I worked on every day as a mechanic and doing the prototyping stuff. Nobody, I was working on for the big 3. Nobody's gonna have a carb on a prototype car. It was all fuel injected stuff in the early 2000s. So don't dislike them, but I do think that there's a lot of better advantages with fuel injection for most people. If you're not racing, I don't think you have too much to worry about with fuel injection. Yeah, so that's my wrench drawer. I have more wrenches than that. I need more wrenches than that because you can never have too many tools realistically. But I need more space. And so we'll go into my largely empty plier drawer, and I'll show you why it's largely empty as we're going through. But I've got a mixture of all of my wrenches are Craftsman, Matco, Snap-on. Runs the gamut. Pliers are a mixture of Snap-on, Channel Lock, Harbor Freight, Matco, and random Leslie Lyle and other kind of third-party brands that actually make tools for a lot of the big 3 stuff. No problem. That's Tom from New Guy's Guitar. Definitely check him out. I think his music is great, and it's nice to have it as an option to not have to worry about copyright issues, which is very nice. Because even with YouTube library of music, if the artist decides they don't want their song in there anymore and they pull it, you can get a copyright strike from what I've heard, which sucks. Yes, in some instances, carburetors make more power. There are other things than just simply power. You are Jeremy Clarkson, truly. You're just Jeremy Clarkson with more rings and a beard. This is my hammer and cutting drawer. It's half empty as well because half of it's in something I'll show you later. Yeah, this thing there, I have no freaking room, but I've got hammers from every place. A lot of actually places I've worked, like machine shops, and it was a machine tool builder for a little bit when I first got back home to Michigan. So the brass hammer and the BFH are from there. They're handmade. Hopefully everybody knows what a BFH what a BFH hammer is. Cutting disc, hand impact, rubber mallets, extensions, bits for air hammers, which I need to replace my air hammer because it gave up the ghost, and other random crap that just kind of finds its way into here. Yeah, so Leonard, his 6.8 Falcon he's got about 28 miles a gallon with a little 289. Yes, but that wouldn't be a powerful engine either. So it's a trade-off. There's also, little tiny cars that get 50 and 60 miles a gallon that are still peppy and all. It's all relative. It really is. It comes down to what you want and what you think is worth having. And you can debate it, but it is personal choice at the end of the day. Thank you, Fee. Oh, thank you for sneezing on me, Fee. That brings me down to my last bottom drawer, which is kind of a catch-all. A lot of cutting tools. All my electrical stuff's in there. Brake tools, specialty tools, disconnect tools, transfer punches, saws. I started off as an oil change mechanic at a Ford dealer, and mechanic is, I use it loosely, but I have a wide selection of the old squeeze type filter wrenches and other stuff. Thank you, Pete. So I believe that is the last one for that. So that's my big drawers, or my wider drawers. Like I said, we've got a lot more tools in this, and there's actually more tools I need to buy, believe it or not. The more stuff you do, the more tools you end up needing. Like I said, there's stuff randomly in my garage. I have another toolbox that I couldn't get onto the slideshow that is in the corner. It's an old box, but it's full of cutting tools, taps, dies, and I have no place to put that. I want to get another box about this size, put it in the back corner, and put all my big... Thanks, bud. Put all my big tools in it, and especially tools and stuff that I don't use or they use less often, and put a drill press and some other equipment on top of it so I have a rolling workshop, because I only have a 1.5 car garage. We'll start going into... Thank you, Fee. No, Max, come here, bud. Start going into my set of little drawers, and that is, first drawer is kind of a catch-all. I've got pens, cutting utensils, marking utensils, and random small stuff that you need, like a magnetizer, demagnetizer, cutting tools, blades. I'm probably going to have to let him out in a minute, so unfortunately, if somebody wants to jump on, that'd be fantastic. Come here, Max. Excuse me. Thank you, buddy. Do you have your compression tools for checking if you're getting in the radiator? I do not personally. I just check the compression, but I know that there's certain... Hi, Max. There's supposed to be a fluid. Excuse me. There's supposed to be a fluid you can use to put in the cooling system that will tell you if you're getting blow by. It changes color when exhaust. It's either, I can't remember if it's exhaust gas or oil comes in contact with the coolant. It'll actually change. I think it's purple. Most of them are purple. Hey, ABS Creations, what's happening? Thank you for dropping by. That's kind of my random top drawer cutting tools and stuff. There's Envious's YouTube channel. Go check them out. Next drawer is Dan's favorite drawer, the screwdriver drawer. Yes, everything I have is technically expensive. Was expensive back when I bought it, but it's probably 4 times as much now. Not just due to inflation, just due to crazy. I have 99% Snap-on and Matco screwdrivers and bits here and there. I random old stuff, old Craftsman stuff when I was a kid, but I've broken a lot of stuff. I have not broken these screwdrivers. I did lose one black-handled screwdriver. I have a whole other set of orange ones, and I keep those in my fun room, the little room I build Hot Wheels and custom stuff and other things that YouTube doesn't like. So I just brought that out here because it's more important to have it in this drawer. Yeah, thank you, buddy. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you, Bella. And then we're going down to the next 2 drawers. So the third drawer down would be scrapers, picks, tools for getting interior trim and bits and things off. Kind of all the catch-all, but like it's always nice to have scrapers, putty knives, Allen keys, Torx keys. Sometimes you don't know. And Pickle's hair tool, I have a couple of pick sets. I have a big long pick set and a small handle pick set. The drawer down below that is files, some measuring tools, digital thermometer, more files, and actually a roller for putting on graphics and different things. Thank you, bud. Yeah, the horse is up here. That's 2 good drawers. Again, a lot of this stuff will get shifted around if I can financially and just have the ability to move stuff around, because I definitely am going to have to get another toolbox. I don't think I can actually get a bigger one cost-wise, because any bigger and they're about $1,000 even for the cheap ones. So I'm better off buying another $300-400 one and putting it in the corner if I just got to wait for the right deal, hopefully. Next drawer is my deep drawer in the corner, and it is all my air tools and battery tools. Unfortunately, they are just kind of crammed into that drawer because it's not really the right one for it, but I just don't have any space. I've got a couple battery tools. I've got more air tools than anything else, because that was what, there was no battery tools stunk when I was a mechanic. So your main option was air tools, and every shop had air, and most of them still do. So it was the best option. Most of them still work. A couple of them are kind of old. I hadn't used them in a good 10 years. Once I moved up front into engineering, and then after when I was sick and had the transplants, I hadn't used those. So it's probably actually been 15 years, if not longer, since I've actually used some of those air tools. Some of them fried right back up. Some of them probably need to be taken apart and have the seals fixed or re-oiled or really gone through. But unless I need it, I'm probably not going to do much with it. Pickle finds that I find the pick one of the best tools ever. Super handy for O-rings, hydraulic cylinders. Yep. And when he was doing his carb rebuild, I just kept waiting for him to just start stabbing himself, because he's really close with those picks. Thanks, buddy. You might want to look into, if you're doing a lot of seals and stuff, they make something called, they're the size of a pick, but the tips have a spoon type end. It's pounded flat like a spoon, so you can get under seals and O-rings and stuff, and you're not likely to damage them or tear them, which you can do with picks. So it might be something to look into if you start doing a lot, or if you ever have a lot of trouble with them. That's something that's on my list of stuff to buy. And then when I bought this box, nobody had pry bar racks that were a decent price. So I've got basically 2 full sets of pry bars. And I actually took this is a closet organizer rack hanging system, and I flipped it up, cut it up, and used the handle mounts and bolted it in with some rubber grommets and some extrusion clamps, and it holds the pry bars just fine. And it was basically free, so that's kind of what I went with. Hey, Junkyard, if you and Dan want to come in here and have the fight to end all fights of Vacuum Land, you guys are more than welcome to. You're also just welcome to come on in and talk. So this actually has worked out real well. At some point, I'll probably get an actual rack for it or something, because I do need a couple more pry bars. I really don't need. I need a big straight one, because everything I have is curved tip, and I need a very long one. I have a concrete wrecking bar that's about 5 feet long, which is great for crazy jobs. You can basically leverage a car off of the chassis if you take the bolts out with it. But it doesn't exactly fit in a toolbox. And another area where you have a lot of tools, I have this big rack that has tools in it, or that big container has tools. Did you see the picture I posted on Discord? A lot of them, I'm assuming the one you meant with, there was, that one, yeah, but I'm not going to throw that up here. Junkyard might be able to hop on in a bit. All right. Well, yeah. Vacuum battle continues. Yeah, Junkyard versus Dan. Fight. Yeah, the picture is Junkyard trying to be. I think he was trying out for the new remake of the Willy Wonka movie, but I'm not 100% sure. So, hey, Rescue News Stored, what's going on, everybody? Oh, so back to, so I have this cabinet, and I've got a lot of some tools in it, but a lot of car parts because I have 5 cars worth of parts and parts that I sell and do other stuff with, and parts that I've kept. And but I put a pegboard rack on the side of it and lets me hold all my clamps. I have a ton of clamps, C clamps, regular clamps. Lets me hold brushes, grease gun, sanding pads, anything I think I'm going to need and don't know where to put, or it'll just get jammed in a drawer somewhere, which is inconvenient. So, and unfortunately, that stuff is also half missing because everything's in the car at the moment because I'm trying to rebuild firewall. So hammers and clamps and marking tools and stuff like that is kind of in the car. I don't like to do that because you start to lose things. Even in a very small environment, you can start to lose a lot of stuff. And I just don't want to do that. I do like to try to be organized and as clean as I can with the stuff. I paid for it. I don't want to buy it again unless I don't have a choice. So it's always easier to simply take care of it, at least as best you can. Things are going to break anyway, but the best you can is always good. So as soon as the firewall is done and I can clean the car out, I should be able to start putting some of this stuff away. I have so little space and I have so many car parts. I just bought another project, which I can't talk about yet. It was inexpensive, and it's going to be odd, and hopefully everybody will like it. And you might not like what it is currently, but I think you're going to like what I plan to do with it. So, but the priority is the Chambler. As soon as the Chambler is done, or at least at a much farther along pace, you'll start to see this car. I still have to work on it. All I did was buy it about a week and a half ago and just park it in the driveway for the time being. It was extremely cheap. It was a show car at one time, and now it is far from a show car. It actually kind of technically makes the Chambler look like a well put together car. But we'll see how that works out. I think it'll be good. I think everybody will enjoy it. No, grease guns do not belong hung on Romex wire. I'm going to have to let him out. So, yes, buddy. So I'm going to have to excuse me for a second. I will be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. I do apologize. I try to make sure that they're out before a live stream, but sometimes it doesn't always work out like that. So I'll be right back. Yes, Max. Okay, thank you. Okay, oh, thank you. Come here. I do apologize for this gentle break. I could put on some elevator music or something, but I'll be back in front of the camera in a second. So hopefully you can still hear me. He'll be out there for a couple minutes. It would be nice if someone felt like jumping in, but I don't expect you to. It's a little early for everybody. Yes, I am pulling Woody, but I actually have a legitimate reason, not my redheaded kids needing to do stuff or something. And he won't show up anyway. He doesn't show up to my live streams or Dan's or Junkyard's. He only shows up to yours, Biddle. So. Yeah, I don't know about you guys and hanging shit on. You do whatever you want. I'm not going to go there. That's why I, at least put a nail in the board, for the love of God. High five. There was a string of high fives going through. So yeah, what do you guys do for tools? Do you have a preference, not a preference? I know like Dan doesn't care either way as far as I know. I don't there were no options or very few when I was buying tools. So the options, like if Pickle ends up becoming a mechanic, Pickle's extremely young and he's going to have, 20 options where I had 3 or 4. And you can spend stupid money and get a decent tool, or you can spend okay money and get a decent tool. So it's kind of back and forth right now. Yes, and Junkyard only buys tools from long defunct companies that are hard to pronounce, like Plumb or Plumb. I don't know where you got the best tool ever from. I'm gonna fight you on that one because there's a lot of tools that are better than that stuff. But not that they're bad, but they're not the best. junkyard and his flea market tools. Hey, Raging Cajun, how's everything going? Thank you for dropping by. We're talking tools and random stuff tonight. I was waiting for somebody to say cornhole, and it had to be L&A. I have nothing against Cornwell. I don't know anybody call it Cornwell. I never saw a Cornwell truck in my entire life as a wrench at any of the shops or dealerships I worked at. So I don't know about their hand tools. I know that their boxes are some of the ugliest goddamn boxes on earth. That's personal choice. But if I'm going to pay, $6 to $10 grand on a toolbox, it better not look like that. Those things do. Those look like shit. Me personally, I like to buy the best I can afford. Haven't found anything in hand tools I prefer, but my power tool I like is Milwaukee. Milwaukee makes some good stuff. Don't limit yourself 100% to one battery brand. I think Milwaukee has really cornered the market pretty well with their stuff. It was Makita when I was working in the shops. But Milwaukee has come up hardcore. Makita is almost non-existent at this point. I will pick up a toque off. You'll pick off a talk off the ground. Yeah, I know, Dan. I understand you have no concept of what tools are or what they're used for the most part. Linen has, I have 9 grease guns. All have different purposes. That's true. But just don't hang them all from Romex. You could have a bad problem. Oh, hey, Hammer Wrench. Sorry, I didn't notice you jump in. Welcome aboard, sir. Apparently, that still doesn't make any sense, Dan. Let me get back to his earlier comment. I'll pick up a rock. I'll pick up a rock off the ground. Oh, okay. It's still, yeah, I understand that. And a coffee cup and a butter knife, and it'll take over the world. If you guys don't know anybody, Pickle is loading the channel. Pickle is loading up the channel information for everybody that's in here. If you don't know somebody in here, go ahead and check out their channel, give them a subscription, let them know why you're here. We have a great community of both tool and car people. I'd like to keep that going. So definitely, that's a big part of why I do these things and why I'm on so many of them is because I want people to spread the wealth and get to know everybody. And doesn't specify he's seen Bigfoot more often than I have Cornwell. That's true. Bigfoot the monster truck or Bigfoot the Sasquatch. These are important things. Ooh, well, way behind. Tom is saying Makita is big in Japan. Yeah, Makita is huge. Makita makes a lot of, like, they make a battery drill up, like the battery system. They make coffee makers and they make everything. They're just not big here. They lost ground. They were humongous when I was first in the dealerships and then in the specialty shops, but they've definitely dropped off hard. Oh, good on your Raging Cajun. I do believe, and Rescued and Restored subscribed to Raging Cajun, which is awesome. Trying to catch up here, everybody. Give me 1 second. I use my fist in lieu of rocks. It hurts, but it works. Sometimes, yes. Sometimes you just end up with broken fingers. Envious Creation says, I like buying old rough toolboxes at yard sales or flea markets and putting some pinstripes on them. Yeah, that's definitely a way to go. I've noticed at least, I believe you're in California, correct me if I'm wrong. Here, even older stuff, even if it's been in the garage, like it tends to be pretty rotting out, the older stuff. I've definitely thought about that because it'd be fun to do. I wouldn't mind finding some older shop equipment and toolboxes. I need more storage space because I'm just so limited. I need to be able to put stuff up on the wall. So I'd love to find like old tune-up kit boxes that are basically like the upper cabinet in your kitchen, but they're made of metal, of course. And it'd be nice to find some old logos and stuff on it, and store a lot of my stuff in there that I don't use but still need access to because. And everything is a premium. Almost everything in my garage is on wheels because I just don't have the space. And right now with the Chandler in it, my garage is only 16 by 22. And with a car in it, it's pretty much loaded. Hey, Nevermore, what's happening? Congratulations on the announcement. They're having a baby girl next month, or in September. I think it's September. Sorry about that. Very cool. He also just hit 1,000 subscribers, so definitely go check out his channel. Thank you for dropping by. Junkyard is definitely agreeing with you. I don't think I've ever seen a plum toolbox. I've rarely ever even seen plum tools, except for mostly for you. I'd forgotten they even existed, Junkyard, until you started bringing them up here and there. Yeah, the only reason to have an old toolbox is to customize it, because otherwise it's just a crappy old toolbox with no, with bad drawer slides and goo. And Hammer Wrench sub to Raging, that is awesome. And anybody who would like to is more than welcome to jump on in here. I'm actually going to put this up one more time, as I have to leave you again for about 2 minutes to go and get my extremely large potato-headed dog in the house, because I can't have him run around in the yard. So pardon me while I witty this bitch. Talk amongst yourselves. Ahead of time, so I don't have to deal with it now. You're fine. Yeah, sorry about that. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Look out, mate. Okay. Hopefully that's the last distraction for the evening until the vacuum cleaner battle theoretically starts between Du Bois. Well, New Guy's Garage is going to be in a bit. I'm assuming that Rescued and Restored subscribed to S10. Again, well, that sucks. That does happen. Definitely check your subscriptions. I know it sounds silly, but I've even had my mom and my niece bumped off of being subscribed to my channel when they were watching me at least on a weekly basis. So YouTube does odd stuff. Like, I'm stuck at between 799 and 794 subscribers, and it's been that way for about 4 days. It jumps up, jumps down, jumps up, jumps down, jumps up, jumps down. I don't get it. The same thing happened around 400 subscribers. Hopefully that's not happening again, but you never know. Hey folks, gotta go help my mother. Well, I do greatly appreciate you taking the time to stop by. I hope everything works out with your mom and her meds. You're always welcome to come back by, but I do greatly appreciate you stopping by, and thank you very much. Hey, Bellamy, thank you for dropping by. I appreciate it. You're more than welcome to say hey, and definitely, if you guys haven't checked her out, check her out as well. Sorry, not joining. Spent 6 hours on a house subfloor we built today. Well, you have a perfectly and nobody's required to. I'm always enthused to have anybody who'd like to jump on. I've been lucky enough to have you on before. Or maybe that was one of Pickle. It gets kind of crossed over after a while because we go back and forth on each other's streams so much. But you're always welcome in the chat. You're always welcome to come on, and I greatly appreciate you stopping by and definitely hanging out and talking. And at least in the chat, that does help, and I appreciate it. Let's see. More like Junkyard will try and claim it as manifold bet. Yeah, they've been having a engine ported versus manifold vacuum battle for like a week and a half now, in video form, in live stream form, and Discord form, because we have a group chat for the guys that are in our every other Monday live stream, which is Junkyard Necromancer, New Guy's Garage, New Guy's Guitar, Witty every once in a while. He's always busy being a heavily armed male nurse. Dr. Pickle and myself. So that happens every other Monday. So that would be, this happened this week, so in 2 weeks. Well, holy crap. I have a feeling I know who this is. This, Lauren, is theoretically The Lauren that you've seen in a couple of my videos, that's my friend Lauren. I think she's been in 4 or 5 videos. She will more than likely be in more videos because she hangs out over here quite a bit. You'll likely also see my friend Derek. You'll more than likely see my friend James and my friend Schultz. And probably my friend Jason in the next couple of weeks because I'll definitely be needing their help to try to get this goofy car done. But I'm assuming that's Lauren, so welcome, Lauren. I don't have a clue. Oh, that's probably Lauren. Yeah, that's my friend Lauren. Let me see if she's the one who stalks me. Let's see if she oh yeah, this is yeah, she sends me photos of me on stream from her. Yeah, it's not creepy at all. I like Lauren though. She's a good friend. So, welcome, Lauren. You know, you can actually come on here if you have StreamYard, Lauren. Anyone who's got StreamYard is more than welcome to jump in the party here. Oh, that's not. Sorry, I didn't mean to put that one back up there. Again, it's moving too fast. It's not a battle. It's more of a massacre of Junkyard's beliefs. You know, the one thing about Dan from New Guys Garage is he's not subtle or kind or no. He very much is Carnival Barker of YouTube fame. Lauren said you finally figured this out. You're totally screwed now. Yeah, whatever. I've heard that before. The only nice thing is I can mute you. I can allow you on the stream. I can just leave you in the back forever. You know, it's I have the power, as they say. Dan can be picky-headed just a tiny bit, and Dan is never wrong. I actually like Dan a lot. He's actually a very smart guy. He has some interesting ideas sometimes. Do not ever have him make you an analogy because his analogies are absolutely dog shit. But a lot of his theories and a lot of the way when he actually explains something, he normally does a very, very good job. When he just goes, yeah, I can't do it, just can't. But he's definitely a good friend to have, and I'm looking forward to physically meeting him and his brother Tom at No Name National. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, you is who you is. Yeah. If you haven't met Dan before, he will likely be on the live stream at some point. Again, he's on our every other week live stream. He's on Pickle's live stream, which Pickle has one on Fridays. He's normally there. And he and his brother do one randomly on Saturdays. You just got to kind of keep an eye on their channel to see what's going on. Yeah, Lauren has a key to my house. Lauren is the one who actually found me when I almost died the second time. I had 103.5 or 4-degree fever, and I was in my kitchen on the ground for about 20 hours with my brain cooking. And she was the one who came over and found me and had the cops come. And I spent 2 weeks in the hospital again, learning how to walk, learning how to talk. I couldn't see. I had no dexterity and no control over my body. And that was right about a year after my transplant. So that was an interesting time. The centers in your brain that control your speech or cuss words are different. So all I could say was cuss words. And I sounded like Ozzy Osbourne when I did it. So it was entertaining, to say the least, for somebody. Somebody must have thought it was entertaining. I kind of didn't, but you never know. Rescued and restored. I gave Dan my number, and that wingnut still has not texted me. Yeah, it happens. I don't know what to tell you. You just got to keep at him. He gets distracted by shiny things and carburetors real easy, so it's nothing personal, that's for sure. See what I'm telling you? Oh. Yeah, and Tom would know because Tom is Dan's older brother, so you can pretty much rest assured that Tom is pretty much a straight shooter. Dan goes a little on flights of fancy. My number is broadcast in a short. I did, and 0 text or calls. I didn't even see it, my friend. Were you trying to get people to harass you or call you, or? But to be honest with you, I almost said I don't have time to watch my own crap, and I rarely even have time. Like it took me a week to watch Junkyard's last truck video, a 250 video, which is very good. You should go check it out. And I'm about halfway through Dan's vacuum video. I'm stupid busy, which is kind of crazy. Well, I will throw the link up again, my friend. And looks like Junkyard is coming in. And anybody who would like to is more than welcome to do so. I'm going to pull that off. I'm going to pull the toolbox stuff out of there. Yes, Dan very much gets distracted by tunnel rams. It's a common problem. If you watch Pickle's stream from Friday, you'll understand. He was very close with said tunnel ram. Wait, what I have? See, rescuers. This is what we're talking about. If you got to kind of keep stuff in Dan's wheelhouse, otherwise he gets easily distracted. It's not personal. He just forgets. Again, shiny things, produce department. Junkyard, welcome aboard. There's no audio. I can hear a hell of a lot of background noise. I can't hear you.
How about now?
There we go. Hey.
Wrong input.
Yeah, because I could hear sounding like a studio mixing system, and then nothing.
I'm very blue still. It doesn't show up as well on here, but I'm very blue.
Did you use yourself as a sanding block for the truck, or?
Well, so I sand the truck, and then in order to see what I'm doing, I rub myself all over the truck to wipe all the dust off. It works pretty good.
That's pretty much what it looked like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Photos. It's pretty much what it looked like. You got, like you tried to steal a T-shirt from the department store, and one of those dye packs went off, and you're just trying to say you're washing your truck. That's kind of what it looked like.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the sanding the truck is just a cover. Maybe that's actually what happened.
It could be.
I'm actually a criminal mastermind.
That's good. Is that why Whitty's never here? Because he's always out pulling capers for you?
If I told you the answer to that question, I'd have to kill you.
You're too far away to kill me. So
that's what you think. I have a 50 Calibus Lowcat.
Oh, so it'll take a 2,000 mile. You just have to angle it right, and it'll at least tap me on the head.
Oh yeah. I got to get back to work, but I figured I'd hop on and just set the record straight that you should always use manifold vacuum for your vacuum advance. And the legendary David Vizard agrees with me. The legend himself, the guy that Dan tried to reference in his video, actually agrees with me. So.
Yeah, I think it's Vizard, but I think it's pronounced Vizard.
Oh,
but I might be wrong.
He pronounced it Vizard in the video, I think. I might be wrong too. I am sorry, legendary David V.
I know Dan worships the loafers he walks in, but
Yeah, he's written a lot of, he literally wrote the book on tuning Holley carburetors and building race engines and stuff. He is really legit. So.
And hey, Thumper's in here. Thank you for dropping by, sir.
Oh, Thumper.
Hi. Well, unfortunately, now you are correct because you're here, and great Dan the Swami is not, and he has more than enough opportunity to jump in here and defend himself. So.
Oh man. Well, we'll see. I mean, I'm planning on doing a follow-up to all of this, tuning my truck both ways, and just trying to be as objective as I can and trying to gather as much data as I can. And I'm willing to be wrong. If it ends up that ported vacuum is better, and I find that out by tuning my truck, I will admit it, and I will just say it out there, and I will tune all of my vehicles to use ported vacuum and never say a word about it again. So, but we'll see. I think that I'm going to be right, but.
Well, just from a simple explanation standpoint, his explanation did make more sense, but it still leaves the question of, it makes more sense for power, but is either one actually better for drivability, for fuel economy, for normal car stuff? Or is there a line, and if there is, where is it?
Yeah, well, so both Dan and Thunderhead 289 claim that tuning for manifold vacuum advance kills your off-the-line performance. So I'm going to put that to the test. To me, the way that everything operates and the way that everything is supposed to work together, they should be exactly the same when you're stomping on it. However, Dan and Thunderhead 289 are tuning a lot more initial advance, which then advances even more for a brief moment when you stomp on it, because then you're opening up to vacuum. And that just seems wrong to me, seems backwards, because you give it way too much advance at the wrong time, you can cause all sorts of problems and lose power that way.
Yeah.
So,
and like I said, I never did a whole ton with carbs in the first place, and it's been 12 years since I've had a car that has a distributor, other than the engine that's sitting underneath my table in the garage right now. So I need to know these things for when I have to fiddle with that theoretically in the winter. So
yeah, well, the whole, distributor and vacuum advance and all that kind of stuff, it's a pretty crude way to account for all the different conditions your engine can be in. And that's why, we've moved away. We've gone to electronic ignition and all of that, and electronic timing. And that's why you got like my F-150 has the variable timing, and so it runs really efficient. The truck gets really great mileage, and it makes a lot of power really easy for such a small engine, but it's a lot more moving parts. But it is technically better. Oh, there he is.
Fight!
Sorry, I was staring at the tunnel.
Yeah, we know you're really obsessed with your tunnel ram. So
okay, you know what? Dan does have a point. He's got a tunnel ram. I give in. It's pretty cool. Wait, what did you just have, like, carbs up there without metering plates or bowls on there? Is that what that's going on?
Just main body.
Yeah.
Because I don't have full carburetors. Otherwise, it would be on the car. Right?
Yeah. Do you have a lift to put the engine in the car eventually?
Here's that one.
What?
No, he just Tom. He just has Tom.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
True, I have Tom too. Tom could probably just lift it in there, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's going on? You're wrong about something? That's why I really came in here.
Oh, no. I'm correct.
You have a tunnel ram, so you have to be
Wait, I'm
correct.
looking the wrong way. This way. I'm correct.
Oh, are you?
Oh, yeah.
Hold up.
Okay.
Oh. How so?
Well, I explained it all in my video, but I would just like to say that even the legendary David Vizard that you hold in high regard agrees with me. So
Doesn't make any sense the way you do it. I do not recall him ever saying anything about recurving the distributor when he was talking about said subject, though.
yeah, because vacuum advance and recurving your distributor are two different things. Recurving your distributor has to do with your mechanical advance, And the
Exactly.
topic was vacuum advance, not overall ignition timing or distributor tuning, period. It was specifically vacuum advance and how to tune your vacuum advance.
But you have to tune one before you can tune the other.
No, and that is true. That is true. You should always tune your mechanical before you tune your vacuum advance. That is true.
Or the other way around. The engine doesn't care how you get there. The engine wants what it wants. It doesn't matter if it's, mechanical, if it's ported, if you got a little string and you're literally, physically pulling on the fucking distributor itself in the car. The engine doesn't care.
See, for me, that's where your argument falls apart. You had a very good explanation until you got to the part where you're like, ported vacuum, because that's what the engine wants. It's like, okay, but there's reasons why mechanical advance and vacuum advance were created. They were created to solve specific problems, and you're just saying, oh, those problems, like, they can be solved by either one, so we'll just, do whichever one my engine likes.
Well, no, they can't be solved by whichever one. They can be solved by ported, not manifold, really. Yeah.
Okay, then why was manifold the thing until emissions regulations?
Well, because as technology improves, they learn and they adapt, see, until they hit about the 90s, and then it just all fucking went to hell.
Well, but what about the late 60s all the way through the 70s where your Ford 400, like in my F-250 over there, big, giant, lots of displacement, only made like 115 horsepower from the factory?
I'm sorry, that was more interesting than what you were trying to talk about.
Okay, hold on. Couple things. You have killed my stream. Thank you both very much for your vacuum bullshit. Thumper said his tunnel ram is running, so suck it, slow guy.
Ooh.
Oh, that hit me. I don't know where, but when I find out, I'll let you know.
Yeah, somewhere.
The tunnel ram makes Dan like this much cooler. And then, so I think Thumper reached that level also by having a tunnel ram. But now Thumper's up here because his is actually in a car.
Yeah.
You guys actually need to.
Is
you
his
need
tunnel
to actually have. Well, couple also is Dan's audio any better? Because I know it was off. It seems a little better. You're a little low on your audio, Dan.
Oh, I am. See, Junkyard is weird to me. Junkyard sounds like it's in a train tunnel.
Yeah, he's got a bit of a tunnel effect, but you can at least hear him. You're better. You were real bad at first, couldn't hear it all, but you're getting better.
Oh, okay then.
But people does have a point. You guys need to actually sit down on a live and actually talk about this shit on a live that doesn't kill all the viewership or the live you're on when you talk about it, because people might like watching it on video, but you start talking about it on a live stream, it just goes.
Okay. Well,
did you not really call us in here?
Yeah, to talk about this specifically, I'm pretty sure. Is that not right? Is that not why you called us in here?
I'll do what I want. It's mine. No, I didn't expect the comments are picking back up. And besides, they actually want to see a fight. They don't want to just hear you talking, crap about each other's belief in vacuum. It's like belief in Jesus or Republican versus Democrat at this point. Got to spice it up.
Well, but there's both, there's right ways about those too. Just saying.
Okay, wait. I can solve this issue. All right.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Please don't analogy. Love of God.
Yeah. What?
Junkyard.
Yeah.
Have you done a test in initial time?
Not yet. That's part of my follow-up video that I'm working on.
I have. Guess who has more experience in this aspect then?
But we're not testing initial timing.
That's pretty much what we're testing, because that's the only variable that's different between the two, is right off the hint. That's like the only difference between the two at this point.
Well, that's no. But I will say I have more experience. I've owned 27 cars and trucks, and the majority of them have been carbureted. And I've repaired all of them myself. And I used to time to ported vacuum because I thought that's what was correct until I read a really good article by a GM engineer, which I can't remember the guy's name, but I was like, this is interesting. And then I changed to manifold vacuum, and my vehicles just ran better. So, but again, I'm going to do the whole gamut in my follow-up video, but it's going to take a couple weeks to do. So,
did you ever limit the mechanical advance on any of them?
Yes.
You did?
Yes.
So you were running like 22 something degrees initial advance on some of these?
Yes. Yeah. So depending on your, you probably know this, depending on your compression ratio and all that, your total timing is going to change. And on most Ford distributors, you take the breaker plate off, your weights and your little, whatever it's called, the little arm, they've got two different settings on them. You can flip it around and you can do, most of them are either 20 degrees advance and like 26 degrees, or then the other one is 25 and 30 degrees or something.
They're all too much. You have to actually go in there, like start welding shit in order to get it where you need it.
Obviously not, because I've done it.
Yeah, but did you know what you were doing? That's really the question.
Yeah, I did. I still do, obviously.
Okay.
Number has a good point. Manifold vacuum is not the thing on a Pontiac going back to 67.
Yeah, that's the same with the Fords and the Chevys. Like my 68 F-250, it came from the factory running on ported vacuum.
He's also saying lighter throttle cruise gives more advance. There is more than just initial going on.
Yes.
No,
you need that advance at idle.
This is Stumper. We're way past that discussion, right? We have narrowed this topic down to in the nitty gritty. The real difference between the two.
No, Dan just wants to pick the very specific circumstance where maybe he could inch out a win in a very specific situation with a very specific tune and.
You're both answering one question, but there are about 5 other questions that go with this topic. What does it do for power? What does it do for mileage? What does it do for afterburn? What does it do for burn problems? What does it do for all this other crap? It's not just a thing. There's 5 things that go in with this. I understand power.
You already answered those questions. After the initial hit, the two become equalized. It's the same.
Yes.
After the throttle.
That's true. Yes, that's true.
Everything out here we don't need to discuss. That's the same. We're narrowing down the aspect. So what's the only differences between the two? Manifold, you get vacuum at idle, and when you open the throttle, it takes the vacuum away. Ported, you have no vacuum at idle, but when you open the throttle, it will spike the vacuum. That's the only difference.
Yeah, it'll spike it and then drop it the same as manifold, and that's where you're compensating for that idle at vacuum by advancing your initial advance, which works. I mean, you get your 22 at initial, but then when you open the throttle and all of a sudden now you've got vacuum advance and you're getting, instead of 22, you're getting 30,
which is the best.
Then you're going to end up with pre-ignition, and you're actually going to lose power, and you're going to cause stress on your engine.
Junkyard. People run locked out distributors with far more timing than that.
Yeah,
and they're animals off the line junkyards.
Yes, but they idle like crap. They cruise like crap. That's like a drag strip car thing.
No, you know why they idle and cruise that way? Because they don't have vacuum advance on it. You know the real problem.
Exactly.
The real problem with the locked out distributor is it doesn't have enough time. That's the problem. There's no vacuum advance to bring it up to like 40, degrees.
Right, during idle and cruising where you need it. Yes.
You can add a vacuum advance to a locked out distributor. You know that.
Yes, I do.
I believe Thumper is going to come in here and dump the both of you. That's at least what he's claiming. And a couple of guys, Dan, LNA is saying that you are doing this, acting like maybe Thumper will come in here and give you directions for tuning.
Oh, okay.
It was a joke. It's up on the screen, but
Oh,
I figured Dan couldn't read it, so.
Yeah, I get it.
I do have to get back to work soon, so hopefully Thumper gets on quick.
Oh, yeah, he said he's going to change computers. I don't know if he'll be up here in a short enough time, but if I just keep you guys talking, it's like every other stream. It'll go 3-4 hours. So.
Well, no, but I really do need to get back to work.
He didn't stick to them. He always, he wimps out, halfway through the live stream.
Because I have a life.
Well, yeah, as opposed to you and me and Pickle, he actually has a life.
I don't know.
I've got a family, and I've got a business, and I've got, things going on.
You don't have a tunnel RAM.
Okay, you have a point there. I don't have a tunnel RAM. You're right.
All right, well, you've got to make it a whole minute. He's going to be on in about a minute, so.
Well, you might as well leave now. The real is coming soon.
I'll hang on until Thumper gets in here.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Wait, Dan. Do you think I know that it doesn't exist, but if it did exist, do you think a tunnel? What?
I think he's trying to turn sideways. Give it a second.
Yeah.
I think he has to plug in his phone.
Yeah. Okay.
Now is about the standard time when Ian goes, "Foop." So. And Pickle's asking, what you're working on, Junkyard, the 68 F250?
Yeah, that's why I'm all blue, because I'm sanding and painting it. Not the right way, of course, but I am.
Are you just going to, personally, I just sand it off until you figured out what the hell color it was. It might be something cool, but I know you're trying to use it for a company vehicle, so maybe the patina look isn't going to work. But
the truck was originally white. It's been resprayed 2 or 3 times, a couple different colors of blue, but it was originally white. That's what the VIN tag says and everything. And I can tell by sanding it down too. It was originally white, and that's the color it's going to be as well, because company vehicle. I'm just getting all the chipping paint off of it and making sure everything's smooth enough so that I can paint it white so it looks somewhat more presentable when I roll up to customers' houses. So
you're one of those number matching kind of guys, aren't you, Junkyard?
What? Oh, not at all. I found out. So that's not the original engine, not the original transfer case, but the engine and transfer case that's in that truck is way better than what was original, and I'm happy about that. So
you definitely got a major upgrade. You got a 10-year newer powertrain in that thing.
Yeah, I think the transmission might be original because the tag on it said 1968. But the engine and transfer case have been replaced. I thought that it was the original transfer case too until somebody commented on one of my videos saying, I'm pretty sure those trucks only came with a Dana 24. And I was like, no, I'm pretty sure they came with the Dana 24, NP203 or NP205. I looked at my shop manual, and sure enough, they only ever came with a Dana 24. So mine's been replaced.
Yeah, I saw that in your video.
Yeah,
it took me a week to watch it, but I did watch it.
So Dan, it doesn't exist. At least I'm pretty sure it doesn't exist. But if it did, do you think it would be cool if they made a tunnel ram for the Flathead 6?
Make one.
Technically, the intake is technically a tunnel ram because they're all long runners. All right, here comes the fudge. What's happening, sir?
Hey,
welcome.
Let me adjust this so I'm not looking up at the sky.
All right, I'm ready to get learned.
All right, we're gonna do some teachings. I like teaching people.
Good.
All right.
Me too.
There's different things you want with engines when you're playing around with timing. I'm still adjusting stuff because you're in a hurry. So
I am. Yeah. Sorry.
Are you to date?
He does this on every live stream. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Well, Here, I'll put all my cool stuff in there. Okay.
I used to have a common room behind me.
Well, mine's out on the car. I can't bring the car in the house.
Well, yeah, but you don't have a nano chair like Dan does, so.
Well,
No,
I got the
need
old
a new chair though, but finding one that'll carry me. I'm thinking about just building one, like, out of lumber.
That might be cool.
Well,
you could make it out of your dead GM parts, which I'm sure you've got plenty of.
I got some broken camshafts and holes in pistons and things like that, but I got a whole lot more broken Ford parts.
Ooh.
Most people do.
Okay. Timing is a fun thing. I don't like to lock my distributors out, even on my race cars, because I want it to be easy to start. Pontiacs have a hard time with hard starting. In fact, I met a really nice state trooper today who was really cute. She was like 5'4" and blonde. And she had to give me a jump start with her Charger because the goat hard started after some moron decided to slam on the brakes in the turning lane and just stand there and like not know what the hell he's doing with all green. So the goat shut off on me, and they hard start sometimes. So I ordered a new starter, the gear reduction one, like I have on everything else. But you hit the key and it goes wort, 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 because the initial's too high on it right now. The HEI, I got to get into it and adjust. I got to get into it and adjust all the advance and everything. But with my Pontiacs, especially my 455s, I want the advance to come in as fast as possible and have it all in before 3,000. That's vacuum and mechanical. So it'll idle nice and be steady, but going down the road at a steady cruise, it gets some from the vacuum advance, but not a whole lot from the mechanical advance. Because, my cruise RPM is usually well under 3,000 RPM. So
what kind of transmission you got in there?
Turbo 350 in the goat right now.
Okay.
And it's not liking it.
No?
No.
What kind of what rear gear do you have?
308s.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So you got
Yeah.
highway gear.
Highway gears.
Yeah. With a 455, you put anywhere from 241 to 342 behind it.
Yeah.
Well, it's got so much torque it can drop through it.
Yeah. So you got the grunt, and it's like driving a diesel or a supercharged vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need a lot of gear because you don't need a lot of RPM because it's making torque everywhere.
Yeah. Whereas, like the Mustang, I got the 355. I'd really like to have a 410. Tell you the truth, 411, just because it's,
Yeah. That's how I slowed my Firebird down from running 1140s to 12.0s. Was putting a 410 in it instead of the 342s.
Mm.
At 900 feet, it was maxed out. That was it. There's no more acceleration. So 400 feet going down the track, it's at 6,000 RPM. The engine's just whining the snot out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't accelerating no more. So that slowed me down. I didn't have to put a cage in it. And now 1150, and I can afford a cage.
So
in the 90s, I couldn't.
So then how do you go about tuning your ignition timing on the goat?
Okay. Right now, I just like crank it to where it runs good.
And what do you mean by that? You just listen for it, or you set something and mess with it? Or?
I want it to start easy. I want it to idle good. And I got fuel injection on the 65 right now, so I don't have to worry about the carburetor. I just start it up, set the idle with the little handheld, because it's a Phytech, and it handles all that. So then I want it to start easy, but I can tell if it wants more timing when I'm driving it, depending on how well it accelerates.
Okay.
Because I had the same heads on my Firebird back in the 90s, and it wanted 52 degrees total.
We'll give that one to Dan.
Wait, what?
It wanted 52 degrees total timing. And that come out to about 16 to 18 initial. So I let the HEI just crank in as much as it wanted. we backed it down to, and we restricted it and backed it down to a 38, like all the Chevy and small guys run. And it slowed down to a 1320 from a 1140.
Is it a fairly low compression engine then, or?
No, that was high compression running on race gas. It was 11 and 3 to 1.
Okay.
On VP Red. So kind of slow burning fuel.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, you could take two completely identical engines, and one of them's just going to want slightly different than the other. Every engine wants what it wants, really.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing, Pontiacs make all their power, especially 455s, between about 2,000 RPM and 5,500.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to get as much advance in as possible, because you're keeping it in that gear with that, or keeping it in that RPM range with your highway gears.
Okay, so Thumper, I got one question.
Yeah.
Okay, so would you say going from off idle, you're launching the car, right?
Yeah.
You're going from off idle, you got it up a little bit maybe, and I'm just.
I launch all mine, even when I'm bracket racing, dead idle, sitting there, second amber, whack, at the throttle.
Okay, so you don't load it or anything.
I don't load them.
Okay.
I don't need to. When you get almost 600 foot-pounds, you don't need to.
Okay.
Does the volumetric efficiency of the engine spike and you need less timing once you mat the gas, or do you need more timing when you mat the gas?
That's the thing I've been trying to figure out, but the mechanical's cranking in. All right, and this is something I'm going to test. No, you can't call that a win yet.
Okay. How about
you can both have one. You can both have half of one.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm kind of going in between.
You're tied, Dan.
Okay,
right.
You're tied.
Well, I was literally asking a question. He's up here keeping track. I'm just going to figure out.
Well, he's trying to figure out who's going to come out on top from what I say. As if I'm like some guru or something. I'm just a guy that, goes fast with next to nothing, with basically stock parts.
That is guru level right there.
And mine are daily driver engines that happen to run 11s and 12s and heavy cars. 1260s out of a 8-to-1 compression 455 and a 4,100 pound GTO with a 293 gear and a 1900 stall.
Okay. To be fair, you said stock engines, but you also have a tunnel ram.
Well, that's a different engine.
Oh, okay.
And the funny thing about that one, the funny thing about that one, the 467 that I had those heads on before, with a similar size cam, put down 650 foot-pounds at 3,000 RPM at the wheels.
So
that's impressive.
It did 530 on 7 cylinders with 4 bent valves.
Wow.
Never worked asking what size tire.
On which one?
I'm assuming the goat. I just listed both, that way you got it covered.
Well, the 65 right now, I got a Cooper radial under it, 225, or no, not 225. Jesus, it never hooked. I got 255s under it right now, 255 65 Coopers, 15s, and I just went down, looked at a bunch of telephone poles. They're putting in new power poles, and I'm going to snag a bunch of the old ones. They said I can have them, so I'll build another shed.
Whoa, that's cool.
Yeah. And so when I left out of there, I wanted to clean my tires off because it was a little muddy. So I was rolling about 20 mile an hour, and I pulled it down in first and just matted it and smoked them for about 150 feet. And I just let out of it because, with 308 gears, I was already doing like 65.
That's where the fun.
Yeah. So, the Coopers I don't really beat on the 65 that much. With slicks, it'd probably run, mid 11s to, maybe just scratching 11.0s, high 10s, very high 10s. And that's, if everything's working right. But it's not a race car, it's a daily driver. I put power steering and big sway bars and stereo and all that shit in it.
Yeah.
The Firebird that used to run 11s, Now it's way faster because it's a lot lighter. It's over 1,000 pounds lighter, and it's got an aluminum-headed big engine in it. It was running 28 inch tall BFG drag radials back in the 90s, and now I got the same size tire on it and on the Le Mans, and they're BFG 295 50 15 ET streets. So that's the size
pretty
tires
close
that I
to
got.
size.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So they're like
That's pretty
27
much
inches
28.
tall. I don't need gear ratio to get off the line. The only problem that I have is getting off the line and keeping traction, because when you put that much power into a really big lever like a 308 gear, it really wants to turn the tires hard. So you can actually launch harder and for a lot longer. My God, the difference between a 410 and a 308, when you have as much torque as I do, that 308 is just pulling the entire thing. You're just like, it surprises people. They never expect it. The 410 feels really violent, because it's like whack, and then it's all done because, the engine's ripping through the RPM so fast.
Yeah.
The 308, it's just like, it's like taking off in a jet. If you've ever flown in a, like a 737, it feels a lot like that. It's just, and it just keeps going.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, gearing is basically a handicap for not having torque.
Yeah, after the first 60 to 100 feet, that 410 is not helping you.
Yeah. Tom, I want to know this too. He's asking if you're a radio DJ, Thumper.
A radio DJ? No. I've thought about it.
You could.
Because I can do all kinds of fun things with my voice. Oh, yeah.
See?
I got a bud on the other side of YouTube that I hang out with, and he used to do radio stuff. And he's just like, he's got the whole inflection down for talking on the radio. It's hilarious.
That's awesome.
James Von Maxwell coming at you from WKRP. He's pretty awesome. When you're shaving, if the skin's gone, the hair is too. We know how to push buttons and make things spin. Your thumb ram is going to be slower than mine because I got a couple more cubes than you do and a better engine.
Ooh, but he's got a Ford.
Yeah, and it's not a Cleveland, so.
Well,
Cleveland would have a chance because you got ungodly power to weight there. 500 horse out of a Cleveland is so easy to get. Although you'd need like a 2,100 pound car to hang with me if you only had 500 horse.
I've got a tall deck Cleveland, if you can call it a Cleveland.
Modifieds are not Clevelands. It's a different block.
No, it's not a modified. It's a 400, which 400, there is no M on a 400. So.
Okay, what's the difference between a 351 and a 400M? What's the difference between them?
There is no such thing as a 400M. It's just a 400.
Okay. What's the difference?
351M is a shorter stroke.
Right.
Yeah, that's the only difference.
Different piston, different crank. That's it. Yep. You put a 400 crank in a 351. You got a 400.
You can. Yeah.
So I just call them M's.
But it is technically a Cleveland. It's in that same 335 family.
It's got Cleveland heads and a similar front end on it, but the mounts and the bolt pattern on the transmission completely different. That is true. Stuff. That's Lima shit.
That is true.
So the whole idea behind the M was to have a smaller engine that they could put in and then have the same tooling for motor mounts and transmissions as the 460 for the trucks, because it's a truck engine.
It is, and they were.
The thing is, a 460 drops right in.
Well, yeah. And the 351M and the 400 are both pretty low horsepower, medium torque engines. They were meant to be truck pulling engines.
The problem is they never really made a 4-barrel intake for one.
They did.
But
I was going to say I've got one, but Ford never did. They all came with the
Offie did.
Yeah, the Ford only ever had the 2-barrel intake for them.
Yeah, I was watching Richard Holdner's stream a few days ago, and he was talking about tunnel ram Clevelands, And since I have 4 Clevelands sitting around, I was like, And Summit sells a tunnel ram for a Cleveland. I was
Which
like,
pissed me
hell
off.
yeah.
It pissed me off that they still sell. You can still buy a new tunnel ram for a Cleveland, but you cannot buy a new tunnel ram for a Windsor.
Well,
I had to search years for that thing.
there's only there's a guy near Milwaukee that makes tunnel rams for Pontiacs, and I have one. His name's Larry Wensler, and he runs a machine shop down by Milwaukee. And it's
That's
a
pretty
$400 piece. And it needed a whole crap load of work to make it fit on my engine. It's a little bit bigger than what I got.
Yeah, Dan got his tunnel ram on Pickle's live stream last week, and it was almost pornographic, him sitting there with it in that chair. So
Beautiful.
Well, you saw me last year with Have You Hugged Your Tunnel Ram Today?
Yeah.
I
he
caressed
was,
mine gently.
like he was seriously like, "Oh, tunnel ram, oh, tunnel ram."
Look, okay, when you have wanted something but you can't get it, it wasn't, you literally couldn't find the damn thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
That was a 2.5 year process, just searching Facebook Marketplace. Oh, there's one. Oh, they want $1,200 for it. I'm not paying $1,200 for it.
Yeah.
I finally
Unless
found
it comes with the carbs and the linkage and everything, in which case I'd consider it.
Sure.
I'd consider it if I could actually afford $1,200, just but
Well, I got to save up for a couple of months to get $1,200.
I gotta
I
go.
don't have a wife and kids. All right, man.
Thank
I'll
you.
have a video coming out about all this
my,
and show the differences.
My
Yeah. I'm gonna make a follow up where I test everything too.
Yeah.
So
And I'll have draggy times. So
that will be nice.
get
All
a
right,
draggy. They're handy.
I've been wanting to get one of those. I just
Well,
haven't.
you don't need a draggy. 14s. It's like, what's the difference?
The car was down into the deep 13s before I put 28-inch tall tires on it.
Yeah, I'm just giving you a hard time.
Oh, I know. Like, I used to have super short, like I had 24-inch tires on the back of that thing. It looked stupid, but it performed a lot better than it does now.
I had a set of 25 and a half inch tall, 9-inch wide road race slicks that I put under the 70 GTO with the 293 gear for a while, and they almost hooked. That car, it didn't want to hook because 70 GTO front bumpers weigh about 90 pounds, and it's as far forward as you can get it.
Yeah.
So, and that car is no air conditioning, power nothing. Well, it's got power steering and power brakes. That's it. And most of the interior is gone, but it still weighs like 4,000 pounds. And I'm like, where does it put it? It's nuts.
Yeah, I got old. I found a place, guy locally selling used dirt track Hoosier tires.
Yeah.
I can get them for like $25 a tire, and I was like, oh, that's gonna be sweet. Rear tires, but they're 26 inches tall, and it's like,
I ran my first 12 and my first 11 on McCreary dirt track tires.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because they're soft.
Oh yeah, man, those things hook.
They don't last, but they will hook.
Well, I ran them for 4 years.
The same one?
Yeah, and I got them used.
Wow. Well, maybe more durable than I was giving credit for.
The less tread they have on them, the better they hook.
Yeah.
And the only reason I quit running them was I wore out the sidewalls. Because I had them aired down between 9 and 12 PSI. And every time my car would launch, the Firebird, cutting like 1.7, 1.6, was usually 165 to 1.7, 60 foots. And a 3,700 pound car from idle like that, kind of flashing the converter. It would move the tires on the rim about 1.5 inches every pass. So at the end, I mark it where the valve stem is, and by the end of one weekend of racing, it's that far. Just 4 passes.
That's technically what my white stripe on the rear of my tires is supposed to be for. It's just the looks on there, but that's technically because it's on the rim and the tire itself.
Yeah,
So.
and I'm thinking, these drag radials on the back of the Le Mans are going to be okay for like driving around and screwing around and messing with people on the street. But when I come down and actually get on a track that hooks, I'm probably going to need some slicks, and I'm probably going to need them screwed to the rims.
Yeah.
So I got a set of centerline auto drags that already have holes in them. So it might not have slots on it. It'll have slots when I come down there, but I might put slicks on that. They're on the Firebird right now. I got like
Rescue and Restored. Sorry, guys. Rescue and Restored is asking, did you do any work to your 455's oiling system?
Nope, don't need to. Now I run stock pumps instead of the high pressure Ram Air 4 pumps.
Yeah.
I always heard they had a lot of oiling problems.
Nope, no oiling problems. The thing you don't want to do is spin them over 6,000 RPM. You don't need to. You're not making any more power. You're just hurting parts. It's just nothing but crazy grunt.
And Never Ward saying he ran he's got a dirt drag S10 with I think it's 400 in it. He runs 35 tires on it. He ran 32-inch tires with paddles in the back, and he ran a ET in the 4s.
Yeah, Butler built a pull-in truck engine. It was a stock block 400, and it was like a 489. And they put some ungodly worked over Edelbrock heads on it, and sheet metal intake, the whole works. And he was turning at like 7,500 RPM in a pulling truck. It was absolutely friggin' nuts.
Yeah.
and they'd freshen it up every 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
But they're built heavy. That you can run a cast crank over 750 horse easy, and it'll live forever. As long as you keep oil in it and you don't over rev it, it'll live forever.
Am I talking to a pillow? Dang it.
You
he's kind of a little muffled.
Yeah.
Hold on. Yeah.
Maybe that'll fix it.
Yeah. Now you sound like a human being.
I bet you this has some headphone or some microphone in it that I had no idea about.
Well, it could be that, or you're running it through a voice changer, and you want it to sound like.
I'm in the submarine that just imploded, so I'm a little bit underwater.
See, they wouldn't have had they ran ported vacuum on that submarine.
Oh, God.
Well, I think it was the carbon fiber that works great for aerospace because you're holding pressure outward in aerospace. You're not trying to keep, from being crushed.
The more I learn about that sub, the more I go, the fuck were you guys doing?
Well, I think the problem, they did it several times, but it just, over time, the carbon fiber deteriorated.
You can't work hard in carbon fiber. It doesn't work hard in like aluminum or titanium.
And carbon fiber is extremely strong in one direction, but not in others. It's like paper in some directions, depending on how you use it and what constraints you put it under.
Well,
actually,
that's why
you
overlap them. You put them on the bias.
Yeah, I just saw some of the actual transcripts, supposedly, of the communication between the mother boat and the submarine, and that shit was kind of. They knew what was going on down there, if that is supposedly real.
They made it. The company has a long history of doing stupid shit.
Yeah.
Or skirting the rules, and some things are rules for a reason, some things are not. But when you have the risk of being, turned into a inside out in a little tiny bell in the bottom of the ocean, you might want to pay it some attention.
Oh, you don't get turned inside out; you just get turned into hamburger.
All your shit a singularity.
Yeah. If you take a styrofoam cup and you put it on the outside of a submersible, and you take it all the way to the bottom, it'll shrink from like this big down to like a teacup or like a shot glass, just because it squeezes all the air out of the styrofoam.
Yeah.
You don't want to mess with that kind of pressure. Stick the thing in a
least-
hydraulic press and see how it works. Do that like 50 times. Find out what the stress is. It'll work a few times, but then it work hardens and your hull's no good. You got to replace all the carbon fiber, and then trying to stick it to metal. Oh, God, what a nightmare! You could kind of do like a sort of beadlock thing, but then you're putting stressors all the way through the carbon. It just.
I mean, I had no problem with them experimenting with carbon fiber. Just do it in an unmanned sub.
Yeah.
Why are you putting people in here? That was my biggest thing. It's like, what? Because they couldn't afford it. The whole reason they had to make the sub oblonged instead of spherical like every other freaking one deep sea sub, is because they needed the money.
Yeah, they needed to be
Hey,
able to
come with us.
In it.
That's all that was.
Bad choices and bad decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you got a cursory understanding of metallurgy and composites, it's not a good idea what they did. He's like, well, let's try it. It works in airplanes. Well, yeah, it's a different sort of thing.
A lot of people try to tell them that.
And if you have an explosive decompression at 30,000 feet, that's survivable as long as the rest of the fuselage stays intact, and the wings stay on. Or, at least you can parachute, get down to where you can breathe again. But, half a mile down, stick a fork in you, you're done.
Yeah, well, I think
There's no
Neverward has
getting
a
out.
great point. Phil Swift did it in his pickup truck with Flex Seal, so I think they just used the wrong components. So.
Oh, yeah, they should have used Flex Seal.
Well, Flex Seal's miracle. Yeah.
Yeah, you can take a screen door and make it the bottom of a boat. So I'm pretty sure you could craft the whole submarine out of Flex Seal and you'd be fine. So
probably, yeah.
We should try it.
Yeah, Dan has to be the first volunteer, though.
No, we're not going to
go
down.
The only ones dumb enough to try that already imploded.
No. They paid a lot of money to be dumb enough to try that because they apparently thought they weren't going to be turned into the inside of a tin can and squished. So.
Yeah, because right down the road from me, about 25, 30 miles, is the deepest point of Lake Superior. Munising Bay goes down over 1,200 feet. So we could send something down there, like a scale model. Just go out there with a fishing pole and let it go. Put a camera on it and see what happens.
Let's make it out of Legos. That'll work. They're structural.
Yes.
Yes, do the Legos. Now you got to have, something that'll cause negative buoyancy so it'll actually sink.
So oil drums is what you're saying. Okay.
You don't want to put oil drums in the lake.
We'll empty them out first. We'll clean them out with something.
Because the lake is actually clean enough you can drink from it as long as you're not like outside Duluth or something.
Yeah,
well, I think people have been drinking out of the lake for millions of years.
Yeah.
Metro Beach, which is real close to my house, got a little bit of problems with the E. coli because the poop goes into the water.
Yeah.
So, there's some issues, and then Canada dumps their poop in our water, and
you're next to Huron, right? Huron.
I'm Lake St. Clair is the shit.
Okay.
As Dan points out, I always say it's the end of my street. So
yeah, that's a much smaller lake than Superior.
Yeah.
There's a reason why they call it Superior. It's friggin' huge,
Yeah.
and it's cold. The warmest day of the year is usually like end of July, first part of August, and the surface temp is maybe sometimes gets 70, 71 degrees. And then, you can feel it. You got like 70-degree water here, and then you go down here and it's a little colder. And by the time it gets to your feet, you're just like, my God, it's cold.
Yeah, because Thumper and I are technically in the same state, but it's night and day different.
Yeah, because you're down by the west side, right?
I'm 30 miles north of Detroit, towards the west or east side of the state.
Yeah, you're an 8-mile drive away or 8-hour drive away from me.
Yeah,
and that's going two directions. That's east and south, or north and west. That's
what
not like
area
looping around and going. I'm by Marquette. The biggest town up here. It has 26,000 people in it, and they are so haughty. Oh.
Well, my town has like 25,000 people, so woohoo! You're big timing.
Yeah. That's why I call it a town instead of a city. And Green Bay is 3 hours away. And then Minnesota, where all the people that can't drive is, that's like 5 hours away. Oh, yeah, don't you know? You betcha.
You're facing the wrong way, Six. I'm over here.
Yeah, I know, that's fine.
Well, Legos would, except that, you'd have to have a whole bunch of layers of them.
Yeah.
They're a little bendy when you put pressure on them. I'm not a Youper.
Yes, you're a Youper.
I live among the Youpers. I am not one. I've only been here.
Okay, so for Dan's
What's 23 minus 5? Or yeah.
Youper?
No.
What do Youpers call anybody below the bridge?
Trolls.
Thank you.
Because you're below the bridge. You're under the bridge. And they really can't drive up here.
Well, they got a lot of free time.
Yeah. Although it's really amusing when somebody from Georgia or Florida comes here in like January.
Yeah. Yeah, they get a lot more like Dan's weather. Dan's in Minnesota. They get a lot more weather like you. We get a fairly mild winter compared to what they get.
I get snow. Lots of
I
snow.
get tragedy.
I know,
yeah.
What the average Minnesotan lacks in driving skills, they make up for burning Walgreens down skills. Oh.
This is true, especially around Minneapolis.
See? Yes.
If you get down around Bemidji and stuff, it's not so bad.
Well, no. Really, Minneapolis is the. Yeah. I had to deliver guillotine blades, industrial guillotine blades. I had to deliver that shit through the streets of Minneapolis as this war was going on for work.
Well, they would have just, gone all, what do you call it? French Revolution.
That was sketchy stuff.
You're a pale male, so you wouldn't have been okay.
Yeah.
Unless you dressed up in black and started, chanting,
No, come on. He would have been just fine. He had a giant box of blades. He would have just taken them out and started, throwing them.
No, they were not light enough to be thrown.
Hadouken.
They were massive guillotines. I did have the Colt, though, so.
So at least 4 to 5 of them would have been in danger until you ran out of bullets in time.
Well, no,
my Colt
one of them would have kicked the bucket, and then the rest of them would have went and protested that, and I could have,
Dan has a 1870s Colt, and he carries a Bowie knife. So he's a mountain man without the mountain or the man part. So,
well, I live on top of an ancient mountain range. That's what the UP is. The glaciers kind of knocked it down a bit, and it's still rebounding. We go upwards a little bit every year. The whole lake and everything. We're all going up in altitude.
I used to carry the Bowie knife on, I used to wear a belt. I used to carry the Bowie knife in the belt and just walk in the store banks and stuff. You would be surprised how many people just don't even notice. Like just giant Bowie knife on the side. Nobody notices. Yeah. They're all too busy doing their own thing.
Yep. They're not observant. I've noticed that about people. Yes, Bigfoot country, definitely. It's kind of funny. There was some people from some TV show. I don't know if it was History Channel or what, but they came up here and they were looking for Bigfoot. And a few miles down the road from where I'm at, there's this trailer park. Not really a trailer; it's a RV park. People can pull in with their campers and get hookups and stuff, and they got sewer and water and electricity. And they went there to look for Bigfoot.
Wow.
Bigfoot's mobile.
They should have went to Montana.
He doesn't hang out there. He comes and hangs out here.
Whitty got shaved by Bigfoot the other month.
I got a PS5 just for him because he can't. His hands are too big to run the keyboard when he comes over and we game. So he does PS5 stuff, and it's kind of funny. He just takes it and wiggles his hands like this to run the joysticks because his hands are huge.
Yeah, if you believe our friend Junkyard and Woody, the Bigfoot came over and ate their Slim Jims and shaved them when they were out in the woods of Montana. So
I didn't realize Bigfoot like got off in shaving people's faces out in the woods. But
you never know.
Sounds like they got a little too close to the campfire.
you know, it does make sense though, because Junkyard runs manifold vacuum. So I mean, none of his stories really make any sense.
Well, his stories are better than your analogies, though. So I mean, there is that.
I don't believe that for a minute.
Full vacuum at idle is a band-aid for somebody that can't tune a carburetor. That's what it is. Or an engine with no torque, which, you know, small block Fords, small block Chevys, small block Mopars, they don't have any torque at the bottom. You know,
so what you're saying
2,500 RPM, then they
for
start.
those who can't tune. Is that what you're saying?
Partially, and also for tiny engines that don't have any torque until you wind them up.
But can't you instead of using the vacuum, can't you just use the mechanical to get you that initial timing?
Well, if you wind it up first, yeah.
Well, just
you
like
bring it up against
physically
the
in the
converter.
distributor, just limit the mechanicals until it's where you need it.
But the other thing about my engines is they're still pulling vacuum when they're wide open throttle. The tunnel ram is the first one I have that I hooked up a vacuum gauge to it, and it drops to 0 when I open it up. Because there's 2 freaking 850s on it.
Well,
and it's a big, giant common plenum. But 850s, even my 1050 on the 467, it was pulling vacuum. Had like 2 or 3 inches of vacuum. So carburetors are restrictions. Well, and that was everywhere from like idle to, you know, and the big engine, I got to see how much it's pulling at idle. I think it was like 13 on this engine. But usually I got like 15 to 17 inches with all my big Pontiacs. So makes tuning a little bit different when you have an engine that has long runners that make high velocity, so it fills the cylinders really well, you know, low RPM. Because, you know, the problem with the Chevy, they got little short runners, and then they got, you know, big holes. So that makes for a lazy port until you get the RPM up.
Yeah.
And I got a medium to small sized hole. You know, it's medium size for a 400 and small size for a 455. And then they're really long. They're almost 2 inches longer. Well, it might be a little bit more than 2 inches longer than a Chevy intake port. You know, the intake and then the head. I got to measure them. I got them all sitting here. I got to do it. So that difference in diameter, the shape, and the length means that my engines make torque off idle all the way to 6,000 RPM. So they're awesome street engines, especially if you really like to race tires. Because you don't have to hold the brake. You just map the gas and tire smoke.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what gear you have in it. Sticky tires help.
Okay, here's a question for you, Thumper. Have you seen Thunderhead 289's Carb Cheater?
Haven't seen it yet. I've been wanting to watch it, but I've been busy.
I made a video on it today. I believe you should really check it out. It intrigues me. It really does.
What does it do? Is it a plate it sits on, or does it run the throttle arm? Is it like a IAC for a carburetor?
Here, I tell you what. Let me jump off real quick, because you guys, ever since I turned off my headphones, you guys are like really quiet. So let me jump off and jump back on real quick to see if that fixes my audio, and then we'll talk about it. Okay?
Well, alrighty.
All right, I'll be
right.
You
should get some headphones with a wire. It works better.
Yeah, he does not like technology in any way, shape, or form unless it's something to do with carburetors. So
I like technology.
He's also he does a kind of a shtick for YouTube to some extent, but he lives a shtick too. So it's.
I'm an old guy, right? And I build computers and carburetors and EFI. I'm not afraid of technology.
I'm not going to ban Dan.
Quit ban.
The best part is that's his brother telling me to ban him.
Yeah.
Well, no, the best, what they should have done instead of Bigfoots, they should have gone to look for Wolverines, because I don't think we've technically had a Wolverine in the States since the 50s. So.
Oh, man, we ran everybody out of there. There's only 6 people watching us.
That's what happens when you start talking vacuum.
Yeah, well, I've been talking Pontiac and Grunt.
Pontiac
We can
and
talk
vacuum.
about other things.
Well, yeah, this is the first time I've had you on the stream, so we're fellow Michiganders, which I hate that word, but, Neverboard
Well, I'm
S10.
a transplant.
Yeah, I grew up in Florida, but from here. Neverboard S10 is also a Michigander. He's on the west side of the state, kind of near the middle.
Nah.
Dougster from Doug's Wolverine Garage is in Michigan. Half Fast Garage is near me. There's a couple that we're trying to do that cross-channel collaboration thing. I'm still trying to get everybody on board, which is like herding cats.
Well, I got the longest drive to get there. So maybe you guys should all come up here.
Yeah. Probably not, but this is a nice thought.
It's really scenic.
Well, I know it's very scenic, yeah. My uncle had and his buddies had a cabin, and there was a very strange lady that lived in the next area over, and they said when they knew they had to come home when she started looking cute, because they'd been there too long, because she was one of those rustic handsome women. So by the time they'd been up there in hunting camp for long enough that she started looking not so bad, they knew it was time to come the hell home.
Yeah, we call those deployment 10s.
Hey, Miss Carol, thank you for dropping by.
She's a 4 in the States and a 10 on deployment.
Oh, nice. Miss Carol is actually active. I believe she's in the Army. I think she's got a couple years left. Junkyard was in, I don't know if he was in Bell Bottoms or the other way around.
Well, that'd be either a puddle pirate or a squid. Perhaps a bubblehead.
It's possible. Dan could theoretically be back in You're welcome to come on board, Miss Carol, if you'd like to. Same thing for anybody else who's in the chat. You're more than welcome to jump on in.
Yeah, and I can block this and be like, look at my hand.
Hey.
Can you hear me now?
I can actually hear you people now.
Hey.
All righty then.
Yeah, these things are junk. What are we talking about?
We were talking about Michigan.
Oh, God. Dan, stay alive. Stay in the conversation for more than 14 seconds. We were just talking about Michigan to pass the time, and the fact that, the state is varied and different all at the same time, and yet not. And he's got a super far drive because he's so far north. We're trying to do that channel cross thing.
Oh,
and
sure.
I you might not be able to come just because you're so far away, but on average, I think everybody's about 3 hours from each other. So it's probably one of those meet at somebody's place and help them fix a car or something.
Well, Dan's 5 or 6 hours from me. How close are you to Highway 2?
Wait, what? We're close?
Yeah, how close are you to US 2?
Fuck, I have no idea where that is. I'm Brainerd.
It's at the top.
At the top of what?
Minnesota.
Okay, so I'll go back to the Michigan map here. So I'm here. He's up here.
I'm up here.
Yeah. And technically he's closer to the other states than he is to me.
Yeah.
Just set it down somewhere for now.
Yeah, Wisconsin's 2 hours away.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. Yeah.
He's 8 hours away.
The UP is more Wisconsin, Minnesota than it is Michigan, technically.
Yeah,
by
we're remote and we're full of trees. They put all the prisons up here so that all the kids from like Detroit, Lansing, Flint, Cadillac that, grew up on these mean streets, they escape from jail. They turn themselves in so that, they can quit getting eaten by mosquitoes and they can get some water that doesn't make them, blast out their bunghole.
Right.
Yeah, so they turn themselves in because you get lost in the woods. You're like, if you don't know how to navigate in the woods, you're screwed because it's hundreds of miles, just trees.
Yeah, there's nothing up in the UP. It's very Canada, for lack of a better description. Some of the border towns and some of the
we're cooler than Canada.
Well, it doesn't work as well because Pickle's from Canada. He's a Newfie. So
the Newfies are a little bit weird, don't you know?
Yes, they are there.
Oh yeah.
But we try to harass him as much as possible with his metric system and his bullshit.
And it's burning down Canada.
Yeah, he
Well,
lit the
that's
fires.
true.
I know he did.
I seen it. Seen it as short.
Yeah. You
That
you
one little-
barely have any smoke here.
It just hit me earlier this week, and it hadn't been. Being close to the water does help. Neverboard said he can hit the bridge in 6 hours from where he's at. He's on the
Well,
west.
then it's
he's
only another 3 to where I'm at.
He's over here somewhere.
Yeah. Because it's 3 hours to Sault Ste. Marie and 3.5 to St. Ignace.
Oh, thanks for dropping by, Breezy. Thank you for dropping by, Breezy's Bike Shop. Glad to have you on board. Anybody who's interested is more than welcome to come on. We are equal opportunity harassment system here.
He
I'll
said
be sure to be mean.
he's south of you. Did you read that as he's leaving?
No.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't. I didn't. I just said hi. I didn't even. I'm sorry, buddy. I didn't. I believe. Oh, so he must be in Michigan as well. I did not realize that. If you'd like to, Breezy, we're trying to get a Michigan channel collaboration thing going. My email is info6percentrecycled.gmail. Or Jesus Christ, could I say that more screwed up? info6percentrecycled@gmail.com. We're trying to get everybody together, and at some point, probably in October or more towards the end of the year, because a couple people have things going on, and try to do something, maybe get together at somebody's house and help them with a project or something. Still trying to figure it out. Still in the infant planning stages here.
Well, you could all come up here and we could set up a bunch of webcams around my fire pit, and we could tell ghost stories. With a big fire going. While we all drink, cattail vodka.
Well, I will have to abstain from the drinking, but you guys can drink for me. So.
Well, we can get you some Mountain Dew or whatever.
I'm kind of
Yeah, I'm actually. This is what I drink most of the time,
Me
but that's
too.
beside the point.
Then they'll hear it.
I got these at Menards. They were like $7, and I put ice water in them. And if I leave it out in the shop overnight, I still have ice water 2 days later. I'm like, those things rock.
That's cool. If I'm not, I only have these for when I do the streams because I don't want to have a glass of water here, but I filter my own water and do that crap. So.
Oh, Junkyard was talking about broken Pontiac parts. And I said I had a 7-cylinder, 520 foot-pound engine.
Nice. So is that the Sunday piston? It's holy.
Yeah, this was number 1. It dropped number 1 intake valve. Did that. The valve dropped, the head came off, stuck in the piston, beat it around a little bit, and then the valve stem just like knocked everything out because it got driven up through the port. It was really cool.
That's nice.
I want to watch the movie more than that.
Oh. Look what else I got.
Hey, nice.
Hey.
My friend come over and she put this up on my shelf.
I want.
And then she went around and put little googly eyes on everything around the house. I'm still finding them.
I want 6% to make me a scale model of the Iron Horse.
Well, if it's scale model, it'd be Hot Wheels. That's what I'd build if I ever build them. So.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's easy. You just take a
If
boring
it's
old
model, it'd be Hot
notch
Wheels.
back
That's
and
what I'd build if
paint it
I-
ugly orange.
What's up, Jack
It's
Sands?
technically ugly red. So
It's faded
No,
though. It's ugly like
it-
my vehicles that I leave out in
Yeah,
the sun.
it's orange. Get over it, dude. It's orange.
it's not orange.
It's orange.
Now I actually had it because I'm working on this hood, right? I actually went and had the color scanned in their little, Wizmo Gizmo scanning machine, and it comes out as some sort of red.
Okay. Well, you know Hugger Orange that they have on the Camaros?
Sure,
Do you know what they call it when you put that same orange on a Judge or a GTO?
something different.
Carousel red.
Mm-hmm.
Red orange. Like
Red
red.
orange. Yeah. So what are you up to?
Yeah, what you up to, man? Gonna look down at you there, I think. No,
Yeah,
that's wrong.
what's
That
going
way.
on there?
Gotta look that way. It's
Wrong way.
backwards. He's down there.
Okay.
You
Come
ever
on,
do the Brady Bunch thing?
state your name for the audience. Come on now.
I think he is talking, but we just can't hear him.
His microphone's
We
off.
can't hear you, bud.
Yeah, take off the headphones. These junk don't work.
Mine work great. And I can make myself louder. Watch this. Because I can pull it out, and then I'm all like, hey. See? It
Yeah,
gets
but
louder.
now you sound like you're at the drive-thru. I'd like a large fry.
We don't have any fries. Who put the
How
orange?
how about cheese butter? You got cheese butter?
No, there's a little skit, little video. He says, "Who put the straw in strawberry?" Nature did. You ever seen that?
I don't think so.
Oh, dude, you're missing out. Just
Yeah,
check it out on YouTube.
Tom does agree they misspelled orange for you, Dan. Yeah, you and your just because your headphones don't work, his do, or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
Junkyards do. And yeah, one set of headphones and yours because you probably bought the cheapest crap you could find at the convenience store before you got on the live stream. That's why they don't work. And,
Well, actually, I've had these for a long time.
Well, these are pretty serious because I like to kill people online. You know, I like first-person shooters.
You have one of those 50 calibers low cats?
No, I don't. The only person in the world I know who has one's BNR Racing.
Okay.
Yeah. And he's a damn good shot.
Very deadly long-range Nerf-based weaponry.
It is. Well, those were the soft. If you wanted to kill me, you would have used the real stuff.
Yeah, Jack Sands, we can't hear anything you're saying, bud.
So me and Dan, we're big targets. So
it's true.
We turn sideways, we're just as big. You know, we're not like 6%. You know, he can hide behind trees and telephone poles, fence posts.
I used to be in the fat ass club. That was there for most of my life. The skinniest I've ever been.
I'm not fat technically. Here, I'll see if you can see it a little better this way. See, I'm not really that fat. I'm huge.
I'm definitely fat. I thought 290 something right at the moment.
No double chins.
The most I weighed on average for the transplants was about 260. The biggest I ever was 330. I weigh like 167 right now.
I weighed 167 when I was a senior in high school.
How about now? Do we have audio yet?
Yeah, we got you now.
Hey, there we go.
It was still trying to use the mic on there, even though I disabled that. I don't know.
Cool.
Yeah, I had to go into the settings and put it on this because
I tried it many times.
My camera has
the only ones that really work are the ones that are plugged straight to the computer, and I don't have those here right now. They're at work. Oh.
Nope. He's going sideways.
Hey, that's my shit.
AV stuff.
Turning sideways.
Oh, you see my little sign up there? I can make the little sign say funny things.
That Neverboard's got a good point. I like my tacos and stuff too.
I made tacos the other night. When I'm not eating chicken salads that I make, then I take a salad and I take baked chicken, I slice it up and then put it on it. That's what I had earlier. You know, because I don't really eat that much. I'm just friggin' huge. And I had a couple of tacos here and there. Made spaghetti the other night.
Seems like whenever I eat, I gain weight. I'm terrible luck that way.
I have to eat exact right amount of stuff. Otherwise, I go into starvation mode. Unless
I have that addiction of having to eat every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. It happens.
The only time I ever lost weight was on that keto carnivore thing when I just ate meat, steak, butter, eggs, bacon. It was great back when I could afford that.
That's what I grew up on. The reason why I'm huge.
I'm big boned at it too.
Yeah, I had allergies because my dad smoked, and I was always sick all the time. So cigarette smoke makes me like I have the flu. You know, it comes out of both ends and cramps and the whole, dry heaves. 3 days of just hell. So I don't hang out with smokers much. And they said, oh, he's allergic to everything. So it's easier to say what I could eat than what I couldn't. So I could eat beef, chicken, pork, clear pop like 7-Up and Sprite, and cauliflower and broccoli. And that's what I grew up eating. And it turns out that when you're growing up and you're only able to eat basically the carnivore diet like that, you don't get enough carbohydrates and, other fats, so that, your body just takes all that protein and just turns it into fat. So I was like the little 4 foot tall or 4'9", fat kid when I was 14.
4'9" and 4'9"?
Yeah. And then I finally got off that diet and I sprouted up to the old 5'8" that I am now. In the morning, I'm usually like a lot shorter in the evening because everything kind of compacts. But then I started like packing on muscle like crazy. It's kind of nuts. So don't put your kids on jacked up diets.
Here's a good question. So in theory, all of us are going
My
to
son is
donate.
11 and it already reaches my ears.
Nice.
What's the question?
So as far as I know, all of us are going to No Name Nationals.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the goal.
So that's the first stream that I've had that has had everybody on it going.
Was that the question?
Junkyard's not?
No.
No.
Junkyard.
Well, that candy ass.
Yeah, neither's Pickle, neither's Witty. So
Can't blame Pickle. That's a long
Pickle
way.
wants to, though. Is that confirmed that he's not going? I thought he was still like holding out hope.
he's back and forth all the damn time.
Where's Pickle at?
Canada.
No, he said he had to make a phone call or something.
Oh, okay, I got you.
He has to make a phone call so he can't go to Missouri?
No, he couldn't come on. Normally he's on my streams, so
Ah.
that it is possible. In Newfoundland, he might have to, like go ride a bicycle to power up his phone. I don't know how the hell that works out there in the island. So
Yeah, I think they just have an alternator and they spin it, like a
Yeah, like
rubber
hand
tube.
crank.
No, they
Like that
haven't
hand
figured out
when you
cranks
salt
yet.
the-
They don't have mechanical leverage up there.
Yeah, so they just spin the fan.
They don't have
So,
mechanical leverage.
Yeah. Miss Carol and Neverward both asking. No Name Nationals is a YouTuber only drag race put on by the AHRA in Missouri, Sykes, Missouri, in September 20th, 21st, 23rd, something like that. I can't remember the dates off the top of my head. But you have to have at least 500 subscribers to race. You can go and attend like any normal drag race, but to race, you actually have to have at least 500 subscribers.
Yeah, and I'm about 400 away, I think.
What?
From
Imagine
having
having
enough
that.
subscribers for everyone going to have 500 subscribers, yes. You jackass.
Yeah, Dan needs 400 subscribers. Right.
Well,
His brother
don't you have to
actually-
be an even 500? 18,500, right? It
Yeah.
has to be an even.
Oh,
500.
now he's flexing on us.
Yeah, he's but actually his brother Tom, who's New Guy's Guitar, is about halfway to the 500. And if you want to see a U-Haul race a Model T on an 8th mile drag strip, get his ass over 500 subscribers in the next couple weeks because he's got to have
content.
He does. No, he does. He's a guitar channel. Actually, speaking of which, if you need music for your videos and you like Tom's original stuff, you can use them in your videos without copyright issues. And all you have to do is mention his name in the videos.
Copyright
You can use it for about 3 months.
So I can just go to his channel and rip everything.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Or you can email
mentioning
Clunky Duck down there and he'll send it to you.
Do I have your email, Dan?
Hey, I don't. Well, apparently Rescued has emailed me and given me his phone number. I completely forgot about that. So
You have to keep
new guys.
information.
It's newguysgarage@gmail.com is what it is. Just my channel name, all one word, @gmail.com.
Okay.
Yeah, but the minute he sees something shiny, he's distracted. So if he doesn't respond to you fairly quickly, just keep peppering him.
But it's
Mine
not
is
that.
shiny things and distractions and crazy stuff.
Yeah, it's like
This doesn't exist.com.
I forget. Okay. I got stuff going on.
I got to make a email just for my YouTube so people can contact me. But I have a hard enough time remember to check the ones that I got now, or ones.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I know. Tom does makes tutorials for guitar stuff. How his job tries to kill him. He makes like 1-2 videos a week, something like that. Dan.
I mean, he makes as much as he physically can, because his job makes him work late, and by the time he gets home, and then it's nighttime, and literally his channel is centered around making noise.
He's got 2 years,
so Tom needs to buy Rocksmith. It's a computer program, right? So
he would need a computer first.
Well, you can get a small computer, but you just have to have a USB port, because your amp output goes into a USB and you plug it in, and then you can play, and you can hear it in your headphones. But other than the strings, which isn't amplified, you can actually play it quite quiet, but have it like blasting your ears. And it's a game that'll teach you new songs and stuff.
I mean,
I gotta put my left hand quit working, so.
He used to have all kinds of equipment and stuff, but back when he was in the bands, but then that all just fell through and he got rid of it all. So
Battle of the Bands.
He won
I'm
that.
the new guy coming at you from Minnesota.
He won that. He won the Battle of the Bands. Just local thing, but got trophy.
Everyone's saying that if you got all your subscribers to push your Mustang and he drove his S10 with an Iron Duke, it might be a close race. So.
Wait, what?
Neverboard is saying if you got all your subscribers to push your Mustang and he'll drive his Iron Duke 4-cylinder S10, it might be a close race.
That sounds like some shit talking to me.
It's a little bit of both. He's shitting on himself and you at the same time. It's a pooper.
He's got a 4-cylinder S10.
I actually still have one of the old Xboxes with Rocksmith. And the little cord that goes with it and everything.
Cool.
And see that would be perfect though. Iron Horse versus Iron Duke. You got all your iron.
Yeah. Hey, I like that.
And welcome, Miss Carol. Thank you for dropping in.
Miss Carol.
Hi.
Still has the icon. We're waiting.
F-250s. Yay.
Yep. If you're on, Miss Carol, we can't hear your audio.
Or see you.
Well, no, you can leave just an icon up and talk.
87 to 9.
Well, I know.
Okay, how's that? That's
There we go.
We hear you.
Yeah, she sounds like an army person.
Yep.
Yep.
I guess.
Well, I'm the other branch.
It's all good. I went to lots of schools with Air Force people. So
That's all right. I was Army Aviation.
Yeah. I taught Marines, Navy, and Army guys how to palletize all their stuff for deployments.
yeah, you gotta have the airload, right? Or you're gonna have another.
That's an important skill.
You have another Bagram incident with a cargo plane.
I'm glad my name was not on that 747. That was ugly.
Yeah, welcome ASO and welcome our token Kiwi. Dean Stevenson is in the house.
All right, Dean's here. Woo!
Hey.
Oh yeah, that's part of what I actually did the stream was to actually ask, what would you guys? It's going to take me probably another month at least, but what would you like to see as 1,000 subscriber giveaway? What would be interesting to you guys?
I got
it has to be a piece of the channel.
I didn't know it was going to be a giveaway.
I got
Hold on.
idea.
One at a time.
Okay, I'll take turns.
There we go.
A multimeter.
I thought it was going to be a video, not a giveaway.
Oh.
No, it's going to be, well, it could be a video too, but that's not really the point. Would anybody, I know a lot of people do giveaways and crap it for 1,000. I don't know what I can give away and I don't have a lot of money. So and I don't want to give people, sharp pieces of the Chandler build. I don't really want to have anybody sue me because I gave them tetanus. So,
but that's like memorabilia. People could say, "Hey, I have a piece of that car" when it's finally rolling.
Do you know how you get around the whole liability thing with jagged, sharp metal?
Encase it in epoxy.
Yeah, exactly. Just
but
the burnout stuff.
Yeah, good.
that's but that's actually like work and I'm so behind. This is
It ain't
actually
that much
doing
work.
it
You
is
just
actually
put it in
nice,
a
great.
mold, you dump it in, and
Yeah.
mix the stuff, and it's easy.
I used to mix epoxy when I was making the pens and stuff.
And my
Used
wife
to
does that with her pens.
wood- Yeah.
You were making Depends.
Yes,
Oh
yes.
yeah, that too.
Oh, where'd you
It's a
go,
side business.
Miss Carol?
He works in the grocery
She's
store.
being
and he
shy.
says- yeah, he says he works in the grocery department in his grocery store, but I'm thinking it might be the adult care products aisle. You never know.
No, I work in the produce section of a grocery store, not the grocery
With the
section.
prunes, we got it.
Yep.
Yeah,
YouTube
black
has this
yeah.
idea that I need Depends because I keep getting the same ad on stuff, and I'm like, why?
Yeah, Nevermore just hit 1,000 subs last week, which was awesome for him. And
Awesome.
I don't really have any. I don't know what to do, but I thought it would be fun to do something.
I just went over 1,200.
Gigantic hair.
Give a giveaway. I don't know.
Pink hair
That's
bow?
what I was thinking was, like I just don't know what to do. I never really thought about it, and I'm not sure.
If you do anything, it was more than what I did.
Yeah.
I haven't done anything for any. Shit, I haven't even handed out stickers for Christ's sakes. The only ones who have any stickers are you and Junkyard, I think.
I haven't even had any stickers made.
No,
I'm on
that
my
was
second
easy.
batch of
marketing.
stickers.
Just like the T-shirts and hats. I've got a guy local here that does them. The stickers are the same place Dan goes, but they're cheap and everybody likes stickers. It's cheap marketing.
Yeah. I was thinking, I just got a new Wacom tablet so I can draw on the computer again. And so maybe I'll come up with a logo.
Wait, what's this join the chat button over here? You can actually join the chat in StreamYard now?
Yeah, if you're on a computer, you can actually enter and watch the chat, and you can actually type in the chat. I don't know if you can do it on a phone or not.
Yeah, I'm on my
I
laptop.
might be able to.
Yeah, you just hit comments and it shows up.
Yeah. I
Epoxy
just
That's
can't
a
see
new one.
you when I do that. Is all.
Turn
Your
on.
brother's saying epoxy diapers, Dan.
What?
Well, Dean, I do have a white Maverick, and I have several Clevelands.
Your phone can't locate your device.
I was actually thinking of.
stops the fuel injection.
Hold on, what's going on?
I'm
He's one of
pretty sure
those
Ford
guys.
wrote that a long time ago.
Are you trying to sign in? Yes, that is me. Okay. Wow. This is different.
You know that air fuel ratio gauge that I spent all that time on trying to make look old school? Well, it turns out I'm not going to use it because I still can't deal with the digital layouts. I might do that as a channel giveaway.
Yeah, go for 19,000 subscribers. You can, look, you can get this gauge I don't give a shit about.
Or 20.
It needs to be 19.5 because he said it has to be even
19.5.
500.
No,
Oh,
just
yeah,
make it
true.
20.
Wow. Why is
My
it telling me to
friend
do
Lauren wants me to have it so that if you win this contest, you can come hang out with my dog. She likes my dog, so
The big lap dog.
No, the bigger lap dog.
The bigger
the
lap.
little the one that's on me. My little dog is 75 pounds. He's about 88. He's
connecting
also
your device?
preteen size. So
Okay, what is not going on here?
Operator error.
My
Neverboard says
my
he
phone
emails,
is
but never gets a response.
my phone
Yeah.
is super old.
I try
If
to
you-
respond to everybody that emails me.
Nah, it's okay.
I just
we know
emailed you.
that.
Have you
Dan,
responded
you
yet?
don't remember to respond to people who've actually asked you in the chat about responding. But no, Neverboard sent out a bunch of stuff, and I guess I was the only person who responded to him, which sucks because he's got a cool channel. So if you'd like to do a sticker exchange, and you go check out his channel, you send him an email and set something up. He's a cool guy, and they're having a baby in September, which is awesome. So that's their first kid. So congratulations, I have a little girl. And that's why we're trying to set up the channel, the Michigan channel thing for October or later, because everybody's kind of got stuff happening in September.
November, I should be in Canada. I should be. We'll see.
What part?
I cannot say yet.
Okay. Well, no, because Pickle's going to Alberta. Rescued and Restored, who's in here quite a bit. They're in
It'll be
Dawson's
near.
Creek.
It'll be near the Montreal area.
Okay. There's a lot like there's a ton of the channels that are in our live chats, like Mater, myself, Pickle, Junkyard, are 10% Canadian. So there might be a channel that you can go meet if you're interested in doing so. Thanks, Pete.
Well, Canada's kind of big, so it depends on where they're at.
Well, no, but they're all spread out. That's why I'm saying there might be somebody near where she's going, because we've got people everywhere.
I would like to go to Yellowknife one day. That is my goal, to get up to Yellowknife.
Well, here's a bit of trivia. 50% of the population of Canada lives south of me.
Nice.
What are we selling?
That's how far north I am.
No,
No.
Dean's got.
Dean's. We should sell it to a A50H. Got me on that one. I'm not sure.
What's
Wow.
the name?
Oh, A58. Oh, I thought that was ASO, out of Salvage Outlaws.
Yeah, not.
Oh, I'm back a bit.
People are still shooting off fireworks.
Yeah, they've been doing it for 2 weeks in my neighborhood. I'm actually surprised they're not doing it tonight. It's not 100% dark yet, though.
No, I hear it.
I'm not a fan of fireworks anymore.
My dogs aren't. I don't really care one way or the other. I just don't get the people letting off mortars at 4 PM. You can't see it anyway. What's the goddamn point?
Well, if I can actually, if I'm there and it's like a display, no problem. The thing that bugs me is off in the distance hearing a whole bunch of stuff going off. It sounds like a firefight, and it just makes me go,
yeah.
I start bugging.
Yeah, I got mortared a lot where I was at. What bothers me more than the fireworks, though, is when they've been drinking all day and it's 3, 4 in the morning and they're still drunk and they start letting off live ammo. Because we know they're not shooting into a safe backstop.
Yeah.
They're just being drunk and stupid.
Shooting straight up. Come on, it's fine.
I mean, come on, I've watched Mythbusters.
No, it technically is fine unless you get it at a really weird angle. Just getting hit with a bullet from that distance you might get a welt.
I drove 2,000 miles this weekend.
Good night. That's a
Yeah.
lot of driving.
Yeah, how was that Ford Takeover? Was that what it was?
No, I went to Ford Takeover last weekend. I drove the old big block up there too. That was there's a whole story on that one. That was just a nightmare.
Yeah, she doesn't do video content.
Nope. That was a nightmare. Had to take the carburetor apart 3 times. Lost the accelerator pump. That was great. Just kind of knocked it a little bit and held it open and sent it, but it's okay. It worked out eventually. I got there. I nursed it there. Drove around, nursed it home, and took.
What kind of carb?
It's a Holly. It's a 80457 600 vac secondary. It's fine. It's okay. Eventually, it's okay.
I had good luck with the
Sounds like a
Motorcraft
whole episode of
4100s.
Roadkill.
It was it was like 3 times. I had to stop, so I took the screen filter out, clean that up, run some Barrowmans down into the barrels and stuff, and get things going. And yeah, I mean, I got there and got home eventually under its own power. And then I lost the power to the fuel pump. Kind of did some weird stuff, which I fixed that. No big deal. It's just wiring. I went back through all the wiring again and fixed it. No, I pinned out the whole entire harness and crawled through it. Yeah, I still got connectors and stuff. It's going well.
I hate wiring.
I've been driving it because I daily drive that thing. It's okay. It'll be fine eventually.
Wiring is the only reason I don't have the nitrous hooked up yet. I'm just avoiding that.
So I had a bunch of wire nuts and just
Really, Dan?
I just regular wire, just with wire nuts, just connecting different.
Wire nuts are a fire waiting to happen on a car.
Yeah, wire nuts are, but they work. I mean, I've seen worse. I've seen duct tape wads. The Cutlass, right? They had the tachometer. What? not me, obviously, going back through the previous guy's work, had the tachometer up there. Well, when you get a tachometer, normally it comes with enough wire to get the job done on its own. You don't normally have to splice wire together. I look underneath the dash. They have every wire,
Well,
the green, black, red, white, They have every wire duct tape wadded into a red wire.
this is what I use. When I put the real connectors in, I use this and then a bunch of the shrink wrap and just kind of like double shrink wrap with some solder paste melted and complete the circuit. And then ohmed everything out to make sure I had good continuity and all that good stuff. It works.
Are those the
dark side?
connectors that have the solder in them?
Yeah, and
Yes.
use a butane torch to melt them. That's why I double heat shrunk them, so it's extra waterproof. Not really. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen them a lot lately, but I've never used them. I figured it'd be something good to have as an emergency.
It's it held together. Like I did the test here, and I was like
They're-
ripping and
Those heat
yanking on
shrink
it.
connectors are watertight.
I used a butane torch and melted the solder and tried to rip it apart, and like it worked out. And I did my tests, and then I went to the truck and spent 45 hours doing that and fixed it and went all up underneath the dash and fixed all the burnt connectors. That one cross connection decided to blow out a bunch of the Big Block 402. He saw my truck.
Hey, Big Block, thanks for dropping by.
So I redid all the fusible links with actual fuses this time, but I have to go in and put those connectors because I blew a bunch of stuff up in that truck. Oh yes, Big Block 402. I did eventually make it home after tearing apart the carburetor once again at the same AutoZone that I broke down coming to there. It was great.
Fuel
At least
filters
you're
are a thing.
consistent. So,
Well, yeah, I had to clean that out.
Dan, your brother suggests you build a epoxy guitar.
Somebody suggested they build an epoxy diaper, but I don't know who that was. It's just
well, that was Tom Dan's brother, and he's harassing him because that's what they do. So
See, an epoxy guitar would be like really heavy.
oh
It would?
yeah. I
No,
still
do-
have-
I don't think it'd have
Do
great
it like
resonance,
those epoxy-
actually.
The ones where they bury the punky wood and epoxy, and then they put glitter and
Is that
everything in there.
Yeah, that's what I used to do with the pens. Yeah,
Yeah.
make resin. Yeah, but like just a straight up piece of epoxy. Yeah,
That's okay. I drove 1,000 miles to Texas this weekend. That was I don't know why. I
yeah, that
didn't.
sounds like fun.
Yeah, I got a
Sounds like
1,000-mile
she
drive
had a
coming up this
Whole
week.
roadkill episode.
I
really.
put-
I mean, if you had the jigs to make guitar bodies, Tom, that would be an amazing part of the channel, and you could probably make side money on it. Making guitar bodies, custom guitar bodies.
Finally, somebody in the chat that I met in person. Now I'm starting to meet more of the Mustang and the car community, and I met a lot of the tool community people in person. So I'm making my rounds around America and Canada.
Yeah, I'm. If you're bored towards the end of September and you feel like going to Missouri, there's going to be a ass load of automotive YouTube people and no names. So
I know where Owensville is.
yeah, this is in Sykeston, so I guess it's kind of towards the bottom, more the country area of the state,
Yeah.
from what I've been told.
The bottom east corner.
I want to go 4-wheel at S'more someday. Southern Missouri Off-Road Ranch. One day.
No, there's going to be, I'm assuming, at least 300 YouTubers are going to be there from the sounds of it, something like that.
Probably more than that. Probably more than that.
I just wander around and poke my head underneath the hoods and pick things apart in my brain. That's my.
I've
Mine's
got a
easy.
friend
There's
that
no
has
hood.
a guitar he calls crowd control, and at the bottom right, or the bottom towards where the cord would plug in, it's got a saw blade. And he calls his guitar's crowd control.
Different.
Done some custom work to his guitars. I think he probably has over 7 bass guitars and probably a dozen regular electric guitars.
Okay.
They just
And that's actually, if you watch the channel, that's Square Body Eric. He also happens to be a musician that just doesn't currently play in a band.
Some way, somehow, I got to figure out some way to get Thomas Gibson back. He misses
There
that
you go.
damn thing.
Don't you guys like live near each other?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
like
he had a, what was it? I don't know the year. 71 Gibson Bigsby, electric guitar thingy mabob. Well, one of his band members stole it.
Oh,
So,
get him a Les Paul. He'll be happy.
no, I don't think he'd be happy with it. I
Then
think
he
he
can
had
write a
one.
really neat song about the Les Paul, though. Yeah, I know.
The whammy bar and take the buzz out of the low E.
Yeah, it's
Let's go into Wayne's World references.
the
no
one
stairway.
guitar.
Man.
The one guitar that was his favorite and got stolen, of course, is like a $4,000, $5,000 guitar. It's like, well, it's hard replacing that one.
I only know about guitars through Pawn Stars. Watching that for the short period that I did.
That's a unique reference.
Yeah, I know jack and shit about guitars other than they sound cool.
I can play Ghost Rider.
Yes, we know.
Best I can do is just
Didn't Pickle
A
play that the other
box
day,
of them.
too?
Yeah, we had
Yeah,
him play that. The
copy.
live stream was going off the deep end.
I got that whole like
I'm gonna
Aragorn beard thing going.
I am gonna jump out of here and
Oh, you can't leave us now. We're just starting
Oh.
to have fun.
well, I guess I can stay, but I don't know. I'm cleaning up my RV and stuff. And yeah.
So you're in
Oh,
the
you
RV right now?
Yeah. I was at my house in Texas earlier. No, this
Yeah, I was just
this
thinking
weekend.
that looked like an RV.
This weekend I was in Texas. RV's in Alabama. Yeah, I'm just all over the place.
Yeah, because you're bouncing back and forth between where you're stationed and home, right?
Yep.
Where are you stationed?
Redstone Arsenal, Alabama.
Really?
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's neat.
That's like being stationed at Davis Mountain.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Tucson, that'd be a nice area.
Yeah, I had a bud that was at what's the other one down there? Holloman, New Mexico.
I did
It's just a desert with stealth fighters.
I worked on a CJ5 in Tucson, changed a U-joint out in the middle of the desert in summertime. That was an awful experience.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
And I proceeded to drive that CJ5 down to Sierra Vista. That was another great experience. That was fuel injected converted using a GM throttle body. Same thing I did to my CJ7.
Yeah, I thought about doing that to something.
It's not hard.
My engines are huge, so
You can use like ALDL and data log, and then you can actually burn your own EEPROM and throw it into an old school like a GM computer from like the 87 to 95 era TBI. I think that's the most reliable fuel injections that old GM TBI set up.
just not the spider ones that are in 4.3s. God, I hate those things.
No, I'm talking the two
Yeah.
injector TBI. It's got your IAC, your
Yeah, it's either a
Your
single or a
TPS.
2-barrel, and it's got the injector sitting on top above the throttle blade.
yeah.
Yeah.
Except use a high pressure cap and some LS injectors and run like a generator ECM, and it'll be fun.
I'd rather just put all the LS stuff on it. Get a Ford 460 crank trigger.
You can do
It'll
that
bolt
too.
up. Yeah. It'll bolt to my Pontiacs. Don't ask how I
Which
know
engine
this.
you talking about putting a GM computer on? Or the LS computer?
What's up?
A Pontiac's.
A Pontiac with the LS computer?
Yeah.
It'd work. Absolutely.
'Cause now I can get a distributor that's the
You can
cam
run it.
sensor.
Yeah, you can run it off of like you can get like the whole LS plate that has the hole where you can drop in like a regular like from an HEI 7-pin or something.
Well, you can get those from
Davis
you can get them for
Unified.
Chevys and other stuff, but getting them for a Pontiac's a little bit more challenging because
If you go to Performance Distributor, Davis Unified Ignition, they make them for the Pontiac motors. They do.
And they make for all the oddballs.
Yeah, that's where I got my Jeep distributor through them. And I was like, I'm gonna do HEI with the 6-cylinder, but I want the 7-pin because I want a computer controlled spark instead of just tack filtering on the timing. And that's what I did. And it works out amazing.
Yeah, we're talking funny language to Dan because he doesn't think anything past the 1970s makes sense.
Well, no, it's not that I don't think that makes sense. I just find it not really.
Carburetors confuse me. Anything past a carburetor confuses him.
I have a
Doesn't have vacuum advance.
No, it's not it's definitely not a confused thing because Dan is actually very smart. He's just very pig-headed.
I just don't. I like the carburetor. I don't like.
I
Okay,
agree.
like
I love the carburetor until
Exactly,
you run sideways. When I was running sideways and getting into pickles where it's getting a little dangerous to start improvising, but I would still run a carburetor.
But like you limped a carburetor, how far? Just recently.
I limped it 200 miles there, and then I limped it 200 miles home. And
You would have never gotten that with like a Holly sniper unit.
And
you would have been.
There was a point where I was looking for a boat tank so I can just kind of get the fuel to go into the carburetor, at least to make it somewhere. But no, it worked out.
There are also instances where carburetors are garbage, like off-roading. When you go at a weird angle, they don't like to feed.
Yep.
There are disadvantages and advantages to everything.
Well, what you can do to a carburetor, and I've done this, and I'd probably do this again if I had to, instead of screwing around with a fuel injection system that just gave me way more headache than it was worth, but I got it eventually. It was just a fun thing to play with. What I did, you take a Motorcraft 2100, 2150, get the high altitude compensator, and you put you can vent the bowl, and you can like put a spring-loaded needle and seat, and then that will actually help with the with your odd angles, and you just set your float level a little different.
Oh yeah, they can be made to work for sure.
Yeah, there's also something. There was some company that came up with a tube that, if you got at a weird angle, would actually transfer the fuel back and forth to keep it running.
Yeah, they did that with the Holly. They did that with the Holly truck. The Truck Avengers, I think it has the off-road tube. You can do that with like a regular 8007 Holly and just put the Truck Avenger there and put the metering block from the Truck Avenger has a you can put a like a Reed style check ball in it, kind of make like a Truck Avenger metering block. But that's what I would do if I was going to do it again. 4-barrel dual plane intake, Truck Avenger style, spring-loaded needle and seat, and Reed style check ball. And I think about I would make a off-road Jeep carburetor, or just go easy and go propane.
Jackson says he's going to leave us.
Propane and propane accessories. Well, I tell you what.
Yeah, that's my.
Tell you.
Damn it, Bobby.
Oh, damn it.
Sorry.
More on that boss.
Sorry for jumping off the rails. It's just.
That was actual car talk. We haven't had that like in an hour.
That's my old school. I'm like the youngest old schooler, I guess. I don't know, something like that.
Well, you just met your equal there because New Guy's Garage is like he was born in the 1700s from the technology he likes. So
that's right, because the damn things worked back then. They weren't made to fail.
Nope.
I mean, there comes a time to where like a carburetor, you're gonna need to like rebush your throttle shaft. You're gonna get vacuum leak to it, so that there comes a time.
Well, my Edelbrock, yeah, the throttle shafts leak. It irregular idle, but you know,
is it a 1406 or an ABS? No, it wouldn't be an ABS. ABS be too new to.
no, it's not ABS. It's not ABS.
1406 or 1405.
Yeah, it's probably 14. It's a 650 Edelbrock.
Yeah, probably 1406 is the most common one. You're good.
I bought that. That was the very first thing I ever bought for that car when I was like, you know, young.
That's simple, and put a 4-pin HEI and the thing will run forever.
HEI is a little too far out of
So
my
you like
wheelhouse
points?
there.
So you're going into the points?
Yeah, I'm kind of I mean, yeah.
Not even a Pertronix. I mean, Pertronix electronic igniter, and where the condenser points would go into the old school distributors. You got that too.
Yeah, I mean that'd be okay as long as I have a set of points in the glove compartment.
His
For when that
distributor's in
thing
the
just
front.
randomly wears out. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, so that carburetor was the very first thing like automotive that I ever did with that car, like just automotive in general, right? So I got me and the buddy. We took the old carburetor off, which is hard way. We put the new Edelbrock on. We were like so proud, like holy shit, we did it. We start the thing up and we hear tink 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 tink. A washer, unbeknownst to us, fell through that engine, was just rattling inside one of the cylinders.
That's bad. You don't
so it went from just like, oh sweet, my first thing I ever did, putting a carburetor on, to oh okay, now I gotta tear down half the fucking engine and put it back together and hope it works.
I mean, did it work?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's working right now.
That's good. That's like, because those foreign bodies gets into the combustion chamber, and the next thing you know, you got piston and valve clearance and spacer in between, and that's really.
And you know what? I'm almost convinced there's probably a bent valve or something in there, because I hear
that thing looks just.
Yeah.
The thing that caused that was a bunch of gravel it dumped in.
Compression is an issue with that. Just a little bit.
That was gravel dumped in it by the neighbor of the guy where I put it together.
I took the head off, and it was just this mashed up little piece of what used to be washer. Like, oh, well, that was that tinging sound.
Yeah, like I said, you are the luckiest man I know. So.
Well, it's probably got a bent something in it, because like I hear it tick, like it's had a tick its whole life, right?
Nah, it's good. 7.5 cylinders is all you need.
Yeah.
Just
it runs pretty good for
it. 302, you know.
Yeah. Well, it is it is a 302. I just recently found that out too. 69. It's either 69 or 70 or.
Was it got? What did it have, a thermoquad on it?
No, it's not the original engine.
No, I mean the original carburetor.
It was a Holly. It was a Holly 600 vacuum secondary.
Yeah, probably an 80457 or an 1805. Wait, maybe an 1805.
Could have been.
I
don't have any of that.
I don't know. It's been a while. I haven't looked at those numbers. Yeah, I have an 8045-7 sitting behind me. I'm gonna do a 1-for-1, and then tear that one apart.
I have a Holly 700.
Tarantula. Something just keeps going by your camera.
Huh?
Something goes by your camera. Is it a cat or a tarantula?
Who?
Whatever's going past your camera.
No, I ain't got no animals. That would be.
There's something that keeps going like over the top of your. What we see is your screen. It's like it looks like hair from like a cat or something.
Yeah, it could be a fly or something, just buzzing around.
I don't know. Probably.
Ghost. Sasquatch.
It does this. It goes.
I don't know.
Damn Sasquatch.
Say it's Squatch. I got it.
What?
Sasquatch.
What?
Okay.
Sasquatch.
I got a 700 Holly that I'm about ready to do something that I have not seen anybody else do with a carburetor as of yet. I'm not going to tell you what it is.
There
but
might
just
be a
know.
reason.
No, I
Well,
know
it
what
might
it is.
be. Huh?
I already know what it is.
Well, you know what it is because
Yeah, I
you're
know
on the
what it is.
Discord. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen anybody else do something that stupid with a carburetor?
Probably in the 60s, yes. But have I physically seen it? No.
Yeah, I've never even seen a picture.
There
of
is
somebody
no.
doing that.
At this point in time, there's almost no original thought left in anything car related. It's all been tried or done, likely 100 years before you're trying it, to one extent or another.
Could be.
Not every.
I'm bringing it back.
I don't know. I just learned something. Pretty.
Somebody else designed it, so if somebody else designed it, I can probably fix it. Unless it's a Honda. Because my hands are too big.
Yeah, that carburetor is not even going to be recognizable after I'm done. Just
Oh,
destroying it.
you're gonna put a chamfer around the bottom of it so that you can get 50 miles to the gallon, and
Well,
then fill it with sand and send it to Tony.
No.
Gonna do a
See that.
gonna do a Thunderhead 289 to it and do a carb cheater with a air fuel ratio gauge and a IAC and a map sensor.
Well,
Yeah,
actually, I was just looking at the carb cheater. The carb cheater interests me. I think I think there's a potential there. Really do.
No, he's got an even more harebrained scheme for what he wants to do.
Oh yeah, no, you will never guess what I'm going to do to this thing. You won't even recognize it after I'm done.
Does it
Whether
involve
it'll
a
work
sawzall?
afterward. What?
Does your plan involve a sawzall?
I mean, I could get it done with a sawzall.
Should it involve a sawzall? No. Will it involve a sawzall? Probably.
Because they used to cut Dominators in half.
Yeah. I'm not cutting it in half this way.
Are you cutting it in half this way?
Maybe. You'll have to wait and see.
You can just replace the boosters, right?
Oh yeah, no, there won't be boosters after I'm done with it.
If you
We're
ever-
way far beyond that.
Homer Simpson character Max Power from The Simpsons. Dan is basically like Homer Simpson. He just
What?
dumb but faster.
It's the Canyonero.
Basically, he's making the Canyonero.
Canyonero. Come
I
on
haven't
now.
seen the Simpsons in years.
2 engines, 1 carb. I don't know.
Top of the line
Yeah,
utility
big
sports. Unexplained fires are matter for the courts. Canyonero.
Well, I got 2 carburetors, 1 engine.
2 engines, 1 carb. That would be a interesting one.
And now there's a new tri-power intake out for Pontiac, and I just posted on Facebook. I went on there for the year.
They had a Pontiac tri-power.
2.
They had a Pontiac tri-power, and then they had an 8-lug wheel on some of them old Pontiacs.
Yeah, the 14-inch.
Yeah.
The wheels bolted to the brake drums.
Yeah. That was weird.
It was goofy. They're cool.
It was a Super Duty, wasn't it?
Nah, it was an option on the B-bodies. Catalinas, Bonnevilles, Star Chiefs, Venturas.
That was weird. I've never seen that except for once. I was just like, what is
They're
that?
usually popular in Michigan. There's a lot of people that have them fully restored. I've seen at least 20 or 30 of them.
Oh, yeah.
Different car shows. They're extremely popular here.
Yeah, somebody had to go around and make some 15-inch rims for them because finding 14-inch tires sucks now.
Oh, I know it.
Get some like Coke and go to like cokeandtire.com or something.
Even they don't make the size I want. I got Mickey Thompson L60s 14s on the back of the Mustang. It's a 28-inch tall tire, 14-inch rim, and I think it's either 10 and a half or 11 inches wide.
Is it a
But
5?
you cannot find a 14-inch tire 28 inches tall. Just at all.
Well, that's 10 inches of
Nobody runs them
sidewall.
anymore.
Is that a 5 lug?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a 5.5.
Yeah, 5x5.5.
So it's 5 by
4.5.
4.5. So it's 5 by 4.5.
5x5.5.
Yeah, same as Mopar Jeep pattern.
I was gonna say the 5 by 5.5 is the truck pattern. For the,
Did I say 5.5?
No,
I
I
might-
said
I
5.
might-
That's bigger than C10s.
yeah, I think
C10s have 5 on
C10s,
5.
and so does Dodge, the new Ram or the newer Ram,
Yeah.
like the 3rd gen at least. Has,
Yeah, my Cuda has the same bolt pattern as the Cuda or the Cougar.
Yeah, like
5.5.
all my AMCs, my Jeeps, the Mustang axle I've got, it's all 5 on 4.5.
my CJ is 5 by 5.5.
Well, you
got
got
bigger.
those Unilug rims now, so it doesn't even matter to you anymore.
I have a set of Unilug rims, so yes. Actually, but finding a buddy found some washers in lug nuts I could try for because I'm not sure of the pattern yet. And
What is it?
they're all a little different.
What is it?
You would not believe the amount of comments I have on videos saying, that guy's got washers behind his lug nuts. Like, yeah.
You're supposed to have washers behind the lug
Yeah.
nuts on the Megs.
Oh.
I got a set of Unilug wheels that are, they'll adapt to 5 on 4.5 to 5 on 5.5 with the
Oh,
washers.
okay. I've seen some of
Yeah.
those Jeeps on them. Seen
And they'd
some-
freak if they saw my Kragers and all my center lines. Jeez.
But to be fair though, it does generate comments, and the comments generate views and boost the algorithm. So
Yeah.
even though I have 1,000 comments of people saying, "Oh, he's got washers on his lug nuts," well, it boosts the video anyway. So
Yeah.
I just have to ignore all of them.
Dan is very much the carnival barker of our group. He's either going, comment here, comment, where's your comment, subscribe.
Come start a fight here.
Well, I titled today's video "The EFI Killer," the end of EFI swaps.
No, wait, what? No, I don't know how.
Yeah, but you got to remember all these titles smell gently of desperation, just a hair, just a tiny bit of desperation.
I mean, I like.
Oh, it works.
Well, no, it's doing exactly what you want it to. You're not hiding it. You're throwing it out there to fish. You're like, ooh, got him.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, carbs ain't going nowhere, but
He's
EFI
Mr. Pot
is
Stirrer.
definitely the more preferred. Yeah, like if you're on Among Us, definitely the imposter.
Yeah, no, he's not a pot stirrer. He's a shit stirrer. That pot is full of shit.
No, it's full
It's
of
a giant
revenue.
bowl of feces.
I'll
Yeah.
work on. I'm pretty agnostic when it comes to whatever's
Cauldron
running.
of
As long as
Fire.
it's old and running, I don't care. It runs right, it's cool. Now the old batch fired multi-port injection, the AEC version 4 Fords. It's actually pretty good, minus the 5 miles of vacuum lines. Once you get all that buttoned in,
And everything else on the Taurus.
and your intake gasket leak, and your injector O-rings, and your IAC, your MAP and MAF, all that. Even if you have MAF, the batch fire, no, it's not MAF. Never mind, it's ODB1. Yeah,
They do have a map sensor though.
yes, they do. It's still a interesting system. Or the old Ford Duraspark with the carburetor and the electronic ignition module that likes to randomly go out.
Get warm and stop working.
No, it's like the Chrysler computer-controlled thermoquad in the 80s. That was a fantastic idea.
Or
They're
the
Q-Jet.
or the
Because they did that
thermo.
to Q-Jets.
They have a computer-controlled Carter BBD with the stepper motor in the back too. It's supposed to meter the fuel efficiently, but what they did in the distributor, they put the timing, the the advance heads like six advance. So and then the computer will take care of the fuel metering to cut down on emissions, and they were using a O2 sensor. But I had found that it was not that efficient. It is better to just take a pre-82 Carter BBD and without stepper motor, of course, and go and look for a reman distributor. When you look down the sight glass, you look for the 1317R advance heads, because if you run the one that's supposed to be for the missions one with the fuel metering, it'll ping. So you have to get the more advanced. You need to find the one with the right heads and put medium springs in it to get the best results. That's what I found out. And then you get 20 mile a gallon in a carb CJ7. Through a lot of trial and error and many, many years of playing with. That's what I did. Yeah. Don't ask how I know. It was a long learning curve. Literally.
Do you see that lawnmower carb thing where you got 40 miles to the gallon?
Yeah.
With that lawnmower carburetor?
Yeah, you gotta beat her to the air like he did. Beat her to the air somehow.
Well, that's how the carb cheater got invented, because he needed a way to do that. Because otherwise that tiny little carburetor made the thing so rich it wouldn't hardly run.
So
it'd be interesting to take that same concept, right, and apply it to like a 4-barrel carburetor. Like just block off the other 3 barrels for cruising. Try to get that kind of good gas, because it only makes like 50 horsepower, right? Because you sacrifice horsepower to gain fuel mileage, and make it so where when you actually want the horsepower, it'll open up the other barrels so you have the CFM.
Yeah, and that forever, the 468s, the displacement on demand, they all take a shit after a while.
yeah, look at the Chevy's DOD lifters in their 5.3s, and they're later than like 08 plus 5.3s, and just get that crap away.
I don't. I think it'd be something good to look into. I think it could be done.
I'm just gonna run my 4-barrel blades and get the poor gas mileage I'm used to.
I'm not saying it can't be done, Dan. It's been attempted in so many different ways. It just eventually they wear out. Would be the nice way to put it.
Now I'll feed all 460 cubes, all the youngins every day. How they say it on Vice Grip Garage.
Where's the innovation? Where's the?
You're trying to innovate on technology that's been around since the 20s.
My
1920s.
My truck needs to get to work and back every day. That's how I look at it. So.
You have the perfect.
Imagine getting to work,
huh?
40 miles per gallon, and then you can pass some rich ass kid, on the highway,
who's getting at least that in their whatever they're driving. Yes.
Nah, it's great, but I'll never get that in a 460.
You have the perfect test bed to try out whatever cockamamie things you want. It's called the Iron Horse.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's got such a tiny engine.
Well, it is. It's only 302 cubic inches.
Yeah, but how many engines do you have that are going into it in the next month?
Well, I don't know if it's going to be the next month.
It's like, what's the fastest engine swap on something like that? Like an hour?
Oh, yeah, we could. I mean, if I had the other engine ready, I thought it would be kind of fun to actually do an engine swap at No Name. Overnight.
That would be nuts.
Look, I mean, like you sandbag with this, slow engine all the first day. Overnight, you do the engine swap, and then just.
You do know that everyone who's there in the parking lot with you, it's not going to be a surprise.
Yeah, but they're not all there. Yeah, there's other groups
Yeah,
around. There.
that just
Just
sounds.
the people in the know will know.
You can just like hold back on the. You can just sand back on the engine that's got onions, and then feed it all the onions on the actual.
Yeah, but that's not the cockamamie circus.
You,
We're here to put on a show.
That's not the
You're leaving
roadkill
out the
changing it in
spectacle.
Summit's parking lot
Yeah.
spectacle.
You're leaving
Where's
out
the entertainment?
Wait,
We're trying to get Tom to 500 so he can
change-
race a U-Haul.
Wait, Roadkill changed the motor in Summit's parking lot?
Yeah.
No.
In Nevada.
That was
You were
like
there.
one of the first. Yeah.
They
first
drove
season.
Finnegan's wife's El Camino there, pulled the 350 out of it, and put an LS in it.
No, it was a
Or
383.
yeah, 383.
Huh. Wow.
Yeah. Then they took the boat, took the El Camino, and they took the boat and they pulled the engine out of the El Camino, put it in the boat, ran it on the lake, brought it back, put the engine back.
It was the
No, it was the muscle truck.
it was his muscle truck.
Yeah, that's
They swapped the engine, but yeah, no, Dan is not trying to make sense. Dan's trying to make a spectacle.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Well, I can make a spectacle, but I'll probably run into the nice young state trooper that I met today, who was very, very cute. She's about 5'4" and blonde. She.
Four barrel 350 is about the most reliable you'll get. Or even like a 302, 351, any of those old school iron blocked motors.
I put mine through hell and it's still running. So
Yeah,
it's
Fords
not
keep
that
running.
accurate.
They just smoke.
I've dropped shit into it and it's still good. So.
Yeah, his rocker arms, randomly fall off, stuff like that. No big deal.
Well, I fixed that. I put the I put the jam nut on there. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
One nut just wasn't cutting it, so fucking another one.
Are we the only ones still watching?
Maybe.
Oh, let me see. It's probably going to be about time to end anyway. No, there's 4 watching. It's tapering off.
Yeah.
And hell, I've been on for 3 hours now, so it's getting to be about time to shut her down.
Yeah,
that's more like slamming shut.
Yeah, like
that reminds me of really.
I like the reason I got the 460 is to pull this camper. I pulled it with a 351 before. It's okay.
All the 460 needs is a 224, 228 cam, 110 lobe separation, and then a set of headers and
110 lobe separation.
Yeah.
I'll say 110. Then where's my good vacuum signal on the card?
It'll work.
I mean,
you got 460 cubes. It's gonna have vacuum. Trust me.
I need some more vacuum to run that monster's brake booster too. So
you can always go hydro boost.
No, don't have hydro boost. Nah, that's good.
Want me to send you one?
It stops this camper on with its electric brake controller. I gotta unmess it up because
I got a whole bunch of Chevys sitting out here with hydro boost on them.
454s, like C30s or?
Nah, it's like 2500s and 1500s.
I mean, hydro boost, way to go. Just route it through the power steering and.
Yep.
Or I can get an old like F Super Duty setup. I don't know. It
Ford had hydro boost in the Super Duties.
It works out. It works right now. Like it's got a 4-speed with a granny low.
Yeah, we'll let Tom in for 3 minutes, and then we're gonna kill the stream. Welcome aboard.
There he is.
And more importantly, hello, Conduit.
Yes, Conduit.
Yes.
Did Tom get a ring light?
Oh, you know it. Got to accentuate my features.
So
I just have LEDs up.
You actually have a light on in the basement? That's crazy.
Well, we've always had a ring light. Like since our first live stream, it's been on the ring light.
Yeah, well, it looks like shit. I mean, my lighting's bad enough, but yours always look like crap.
Well, I'm in a basement.
Well, thanks.
So.
Thanks for that.
hard to make a basement look good.
I'm
Yeah, but
purple.
you got to highlight conduit.
It's fabulous.
No, what you need is a random car poster and or conduit. You need to have some kind of electrical stuff in the background. Or
Well,
I hid all the stuff like that.
Have a guitar poster or something.
I put paneling up to block all that stuff.
No, you just need to have a random poster of a car you worked on 25 years ago.
A car
That
break.
made it magazines and shit.
I don't want to relive any of that. 6%.
It's fun.
No, please don't.
I'm not looking to relive it. I just thought it would be cool to have it in the background. So
Why
Fair
didn't
enough.
you go watch my movie?
I have to try to. I have a whole like setup.
Hold
I
on,
got
manage your brain
guitars on
break.
the wall, like my trophies, stuff like that. But the couch is like over here, and I don't have a lot of space. So
I just
Your
put a bunch
brother's
of toys
being
up.
killed by your niece, if you were wondering, Tom. So
what's that?
your niece is killing your brother at the moment. So
He
It's
probably
okay, he
deserves
deserves
it.
I'm sure he deserved it. It's not even a question, but
Yeah, I didn't deserve any of this.
I think it's just payback for all the stuff he's done to my son. So
that's it all in live. I can imagine what he does when he's not on camera. Just like, ow.
They won't let me leave. I'm here against my will. It's 6%'s fault. Yeah, see that guy right there.
No, give me that. Turn that face back on your dad. He deserves it more than I do. I'll buy you Happy Donald's or something.
Yeah, give him that evil eye.
Don't believe him. He won't buy you nothing.
Nothing. It's not going to buy you nothing.
Please that on me. Thank you very much.
I am.
So Thumper,
Hey,
it's nice to
Can't be death.
nice to put a face with a YouTube title.
What do you mean, man? I'm all over in my videos. Not always. It's just a pain for me to set up a camera and then stand in front of it. It's easier for me to just be like, all right, this is what I'm working on. That's what I'm doing.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I built all this so I could do live streams.
See, it looks nice. Like I can't really mount shelves onto my concrete wall. Otherwise, I'd probably do that.
Well, you realize I'm sitting in a shipping container, right?
I may not have more options with the ship. I'm renting, so I can't really put a bunch of holes in the.
Yeah, you don't want to rent a shipping container.
No, or
We used
put a
to-
bunch of holes in a rented basement.
We outfitted some shipping containers over in Afghanistan
Yeah.
early on and slept in them. It was good times.
We built some custom ones when I did military stuff that were special control 40 footers that, they're $400,000 freaking container, but you're done with putting all the dumb shit in it.
Yep, putting houses in connexes,
Yeah,
air
yeah.
shipment connexes.
And special spray and foam and special doors and try to make it actually like a living space. And it was weird.
Yeah,
I already bought
These are pretty
they had
nice.
a bunch of them at Camp Doha. That's kind of where I got the idea. I was like, shipping containers.
Oh man, Doha's.
Seen some pretty
Doha's
nice tiny houses made out of shipping containers. I mean,
Doha.
Yeah, they were until the prices tripled after COVID. So
well, I'm sure since people figured out they can, turn them into things, like they've been selling a lot more of them probably.
Swimming pools, tiny houses.
yeah, but especially when
4 of
COVID
them,
came
so.
through, because I was seriously looking for one to put in the back, a 40 footer, and they were $1,200. Now they're about 3,000.
Oh, the 40 footers have always been kind of high.
I want to build a tiny house in the back of my property, and yeah, be nice to have let's set up a house for maybe a long-term guest. We'll see.
You're sitting in a house, a tiny house.
Oh, I'm talking about a more hard structure. This is my travel house for work. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to be putting up another shed so I can park stuff outside the shop. Right now, I'm just trying to get a roof over everything because of all the snow.
I might have a friend that becomes part of my resident. We'll see.
Yeah,
I'm
no, I thought
avoiding
about.
people moving in.
I've only got a one and a half ish car garage, so it's the cheapest way for me to build a sort of even just storage space would be a ISO container, but I just don't have the cash for it right now.
I bought a sawmill, so now I can take trees that I cut down and turn them into lumber.
I need
Well,
some
why
way
don't
to
you get
continue
$4
working
up
on things in the winter.
No, it's a $2,500 sawmill.
Oh, when you said sawmill, I thought you meant like an old sawmill, like an actual like a
Yeah, I
sawmill.
was like,
No, this is a big
wow,
bandsaw on rails.
I thought it was
Yeah,
like,
no. When you
was
said
it
sawmill, I'm like you're just lighting cigars with $100 bills and shit up there in the UP. So
yeah, I was thinking like sawmill, like wow, like how
No,
many
it's
acres?
portable. I can put it on the back of my trailer, which I'm gonna do here shortly.
I was this close from having one of them portable sawmills, but the guy kind of
Decided not to sell it.
yeah.
They're handy. I've already made a bunch of boards. I'm going to be using them to build shelves and stuff. Since I have to do something with my ceiling, I'm thinking I'll like cut some rough cut about 1/8 inch thick, like veneers, and then I'll just staple them to the roof. Run them through my plane and stick them up.
I have to
That
cut
look
a
nice.
tree down to expand my shop. I have to cut a tree down because I'm gonna expand the shop on one side for covered parking, and I need to knock that tree down. And then I'm gonna expand the other side and put a concrete pad for this back in Texas.
I live in a forest, so any direction I go, I have to kill trees and move rocks.
yes.
Damn,
Yeah.
Challenging to
were you up in
older
like
brother.
were you up in like the Yukon Territory or something?
No, just the Upper Peninsula, Michigan.
Our
I'm on the
older
North
brother,
Shore of the United States.
Yeah. He's up in Uper country. He only hunts the 30-point bucks and that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, and the rusty Chevrolet, don't you know? You betcha.
Yes.
Oh geez. You get
Yeah.
you get your deer on the second week of deer camp because you're drunk all the time, and then you go out and you smack the deer with the truck, and you're like, "Oh yay, we got one."
Yeah, and I tried to explain to Dan how you pronounce Escanaba, and it didn't go so well.
Oh yeah, the names up here are really funny.
That's
Yes.
Ontonagon and Gogebic.
Yeah. There's some special names up there. It's almost as good as pickle names. Like, we don't have a town named Dildo or nothing, but we got some closest.
Yeah.
I think Hell, Michigan's a lot better than Dildo.
Well, my friend Lauren actually reminded me if Pickle actually ever does his live stream from Dildo, I'm going to have to then do a live stream from Climax, Michigan, because there actually is a town called Climax. So
You should do it at the same time.
There's an Intercourse, Pennsylvania.
And then you got Gaylord, Michigan.
yeah.
And I stopped through there one time and got a Subway sandwich because I was driving up here from South Carolina when I PCS'd home, or ETS'd. And I called it the gender confused Subway. This is back in 2005. Because you walk in and everybody presents, but the voice doesn't match. So it looks like a girl, sounds like me. Kind of looks like a girl, but has a beard like me. It's just like everybody in there was a little bit different. And I was like, wow, this is really kind of interesting.
Had you been on the road for too
And
many
it's in
hours?
Gaylord.
So you stopped at a town called Gaylord and thought to yourself, man, I need a foot long to chew on.
Yeah,
I got
I'm
2 foot longs.
I'm assuming you were just punch drunk from
Lots
driving
of
to-
extra meat
Uh-huh.
and meatballs.
I got Subway.
Can you add special to my sub sandwich?
Make some
Just
special
2
sauce.
of those meatballs, please.
Put me some
Just
special
do.
sauce in the
Just put them
meatballs.
on one end.
Need man-sized meatball.
And the banana. I gotta have the banana.
But don't
Don't
split
ask me
it.
why I put it on there. Just do it.
Oh, God.
No, the banana's got to be separate. You don't mix it with the meatballs. That's just gross.
I usually eat a banana before running because of the potassium and. Oh wait, you're talking about something else. Never mind. Wow.
Yeah, they were going into innuendo country. You were trying to be actually realistic. It's realism in this live stream. By the time by this many hours into it, they don't go together.
She's
Somebody,
been in the
somebody
Army
said
16
something about
years, so.
being on the rails or going off the rails. I was just thinking to myself, has any live stream 6% that we've ever been a part of been on any sort of rails?
For 5 to 10 minutes, yes. I actually have topics. I've presented them on most of my streams, and they last half an hour at best, and then it just goes right into shit sandwich land.
I dove into like a carb like spiel that went for a good long rambling on.
Could talk about vacuum advance again.
Yeah, we had you say the word vacuum advance 3 times and you get a sweaty fat guy. It just magically appears on your live stream. So,
Which you never comment, it didn't speak a sentence of vacuum advance this whole time.
Yeah, I did.
no, he was the judge. And
John had his little whiteboard. He's trying to keep track.
They both work for different engines doing different things.
And that's what I've been trying to, and it was more of a, like from my side of it, it's a presentation factor. New Guy's Garage actually did something with facts and information, which is not normally how he normally just goes, yep.
No,
And when
that's
he does,
false.
I get videos.
That's false. I built my channel on facts and information. It's just when I got around you people, I ran out of shit to talk about.
That's fake news, Dan. Fake news.
Yeah.
I run.
Your whole
was there
spiel
when I
on
used to do
flathead
facts and
screwdrivers,
stuff.
garbage.
When you have 20 inches of mercury at idle, there's no reason why you can't get away with running just ported for your and advance the time for 10 degrees. That's just
And you might have built your channel on facts and information, but now you're just in full Carnival Barker mode going, ooh, what does this run on? Let me wreck some screwdrivers. I like shit that no one else likes just to give me some views.
He's over here like, I'm going to start the fight.
I'll start talking about gigantic hair bows and how I have 50 of them hanging up on a hanger.
Hey, I built the carburetor. There was facts and stuff in that video.
Those makeup tutorials, they go pretty well. I've been thinking about doing them.
Right? Like my wife's been thinking about putting some of that on too.
I was kind of wondering how you got, you should do a video on it.
This is my thing. I don't do videos.
I was thinking about coloring my beard like red, white, and blue, but I did not. I decided not to.
Missed opportunity.
Yeah.
I
already got the white.
Yeah.
Thinking about another year, I should be able to pull that one off.
This has been every color since I first grew a beard when I was 15. It's never been one color. It's always been every color. So.
Yeah, mine was all different colors, and then I had 2 patches right here that were like really blonde, and then they started going gray when I was 26.
Okay, it's time.
And by the time I was 30, I was like this. So I'm like, I don't care.
Well, it is time. I want to thank everybody that came on chat tonight and on panel tonight. Thank everybody in the chat. If anybody wants to find you guys online, what's the best place to do it?
You need to tell me which
Instagram.
That is going to be starting.
So Miss Carol is on Instagram, and
We're ending it right now.
So I will never be on YouTube or making content again, personally.
Tom is New Guy's Guitar. If you like his music, find him. Dan is New Guy's Garage. And
Sweaty Fat Guy.
Well, Thumper the Sweaty Fat Guy, because I'm pretty sure if you just search Sweaty Fat Guy, you might get some strange results.
Nope. You search Sweaty Fat Guy, you get me. That's the name of the channel.
He just has all kinds of content.
Yeah.
I got strange content.
Yes.
We know.
It jumps all over the place.
I didn't know you were a Youper at first, and then you started making comments on one of the live streams. I'm like, he's a fucking Youper.
Oh, yeah.
You can smell it. You can smell it in the way he's talking. He's a fucking Youper.
It's kind of funny because I was stationed in South Carolina for a total of 5 years. So I picked up all the y'all and yacht too stuff, right? So then I came up here and lived up here for a while, and then I went back to Nebraska where we don't have accents and things. So I was going up and being like, "Oh, so y'all going fishing, eh?"
Yeah, say nice boat.
Just like mix and imagine all of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you betcha. Don't you know?
Thanks everybody for coming on tonight. I greatly appreciate it, and I will see everybody next week.
Later.
See ya. Thanks.